Hello. Sorry I'm late. I had to pop to the shop, as I always do. How are we all doing? Gotta feed the cat, of course. Sorry guys, sorry. I was, the shop closes at like, in about 30 minutes. And I've been meaning to go all day, but I haven't had time. A pre-early New Year's resolution for me. I know most people are probably thinking about Christmas, not New Year's, but you know. I will make a resolution that I'm going to be on time for at least 50% of my streams in January. That's my goal. How are we all doing? Where's my Santa hat? I don't know. I've got a little Christmas tree. See, I've got a little Christmas tree. I have no space in my office, so my mum was talking to me and she was like, hey, I've got a spare Christmas tree. Do you want it? And I'm like, I don't really have any space. Because when you have like 3 screens, a desk, a PC tower, a green screen, a light, like, just no space. So, yes, it is crazy weather out there today. I've never seen so much wind in my life. I'm sure the house is shaken off its core. Right, what am I doing? Why have I got this open? That needs to go away. That needs to go away. I have been doing so many masteries. You had a tree blow up. I'm not surprised. The wind's crazy. I couldn't sleep a bit last night. Yeah, stage 19 has been beaten. And I tell you what it's coming down to is, do you have a 6-star Crushing Rend? Why don't I stream 2 streams in... Why don't I stream more? 2 streams in a week is not enough. Honestly, I'm exhausted. That's what this week has been. Normally I stream on Twitch. I've just been exhausted. I have run out of steam towards the end of the year. It has been a crazy year, and so today is going to be like the last stream for the year because I just need a couple of weeks off just to recharge a little bit, get my brain back into some sort of collective order, collective bargaining. It's just been broken. Hey Nathan. New guy with a question. Is it, if it says a buff or debuff for X amount of turns, is it the caster's turns or each individual champion? So what will happen, Iron, is when I place a debuff, like you can see right now, if I pause this a second, at the top there you see a decreased defense. So if I'm placing a debuff on a target, then the target has to take 2 turns before that debuff will expire. It doesn't matter about my team. If I'm applying a buff to my team, then it is per individual... Sorry, music's a bit loud. Oop. Then it is per individual hero, right? So if I place a buff on Vladimir, then Vladimir himself has to take 2 turns. The only thing to note is when I'm placing the buff on myself, the duration starts after my turn, not before. That's the only thing you need to know. So that's what it means. It's not the team, it's the individual champion. How does Korrigan's passive work with increased resistance and buff? With increased resistance buff and res aura. Let's have a look. Korrigan, that's Grisor. I always mix up. Well, he is Ogryn. Being blind. Increases this champion's resist by 20 and defense by 10% for each ally protection buff on all allies. So, if I've got 5 allies, I can only place it on 4, right? Because ally protection is placed on all allies except this. So I'll have 4, so he'll gain 80 resistance. Okay? So he'll gain 80 resistance on top of a base of 50. So he'll be 80 plus 50. That'll put 130. And then if you apply increased resistance to that, you would basically take 130 times 1.5. That would give you 195 resistance when he places ally protection. If you had a resistance aura, you'd add the aura before you multiply. The buff is always multiplication on the total stat at the time. So like, for example, also increases allies resistance by 15 for each ally protection on the buff on all allies. So what that'll do is if there's 4 ally protections out, every single ally gets 4 times 15. It's very powerful. I did see someone solo Sand Devil, this one with Oella. Not Oella. Which one did I see them solo? Iron Twins. I saw someone solo this with Oella. Basically just Oella in Brimstone. I mean, that's what they're doing here with Brogni. They're basically using Brogni and hoping that Brimstone procs. Hey, Samuel. Extractor is still not working. What specifically is not working in the extractor? Because it should be working. Oh, did Oddwin make a video on it? I'm so out of the loop on all of these things because I just don't get a chance to actually check on every single thing that happens. My world has been a little bit Dragonair-ish this week, to be honest, because it's been season 2 grind, and the first week of a season is really stressful on Dragonair because you have that like free week. You have like that free week to free regear all the time, so you're always trying to like maximize the value of that before it goes away. If the installer fails, if you're getting like fail to initialize, just check your task manager. There's probably some application that hasn't closed down, Adam. Also, a PC restart fixes it. If the installer is bringing up an error saying fail to initialize, it's a common error we get. Basically, it means that something didn't close down when you ran the updater. So I did have I was cooking a clever idea with Fire Knight Soulcross. Sorry, I'm watching Dragonair in the background there. I was cooking an idea with this. So, if anyone doesn't know how the shield works when it's a poison, if you activate a poison whilst the shield is up, it's considered an attack against the shield counter. So if there's like 5 poisons, I activate 5 poisons, I get 5 off the shield counter. So I was cooking a crazy idea, and I don't know if it's actually going to be possible, to basically use King Galkaba because of his passive effect, right? Whenever an enemy under a poison debuff attacks an ally under a shield buff, it instantly activates 1 poison debuff on that enemy. Now, I'm pretty sure that works on all allies, so it should do it for each ally attacked. But I can't get the shield down quick enough to get poisons on the boss. It does actually work. I've tested it. It absolutely does take a shield count off. But it doesn't work because I can't get the shield down and then I can't get the poisons up. So... What? Don't meow at me. Can I show the Vlad build? Yeah, of course. He is oh, I have to go proper. He is 5-star, so that's a consideration. He's in Savage crit damage. He's in a bit of a hybrid build. So he's at 251 speed, 195% crit damage, and 5.9k attack. I can probably improve this build a bit now. I haven't rebuilt him in a while. But you can see that I could probably replace some of this gear. And I could glyph and I could improve it. I wanted him to be quite fast because I can activate then Life Harvest to basically get a lot of turn meter. And also with his passive here, he gets a lot of turn meter as well. So if you get him rolling, he can take a lot of turns very quickly. Yeah, Raid Shadow... so RSL Helper has a problem with it sometimes. Helper can do stuff with the game to make it buggy. So... How is Togron's passive working? Increases his champion's max HP by 10% every time they use an active skill. So if I use this ability or this ability, I gain 10% HP until I change round. Also increases each ally's max HP every time they use an active skill. So if I use 3 A3s on a hero, they're going to get 15% bonus on their maximum HP. It is maximum HP in the battle at the time. So if I enter the battle at 50,000 HP, that includes the aura on top and everything else, right? It's the total amount that it's multiplying. I think I might have to, Qwerty. Honestly, I might have to use 2 because I don't have an Eldor and I don't have a Cardiel, so I might have to use 2 Creadons. Can you explain when it's better to use Cruelty or Crushing Rend on a given champion? The only time I would ever recommend Crushing Rend is in 2 scenarios. Scenario 1, you're 6-star Awakened. If you're 6-star Awakened, Crushing Rend is so much more powerful than anything else in the game. It's probably the most powerful blessing in the game, depending on the content you're doing. If you're doing low-level content, it's not very powerful at all. If you're doing endgame content, stuff that's like level 300 plus, like Hydra, Doom Tower, Hard, those sorts of areas, it's insanely powerful. Cruelty is better if you don't have the 6-star, and you should always try to have a Cruelty in the team anyway, right? Every team should have a Cruelty in there. If you look at my clan boss team here, that's Doom Tower. I haven't got used to there being a new tile there. If you look at my clan boss team here, I've got 1 6-star Cruelty. I don't need more than 1. I just need a Cruelty champion, right? Crushing Rend here, for example, is not very valuable, right? Because it's only level 150. So at best, I'm going to get 15% at rank 6. And the defense of the boss is so low that by the time I put Cruelty on him and decreased defense, he's got no defense anyway. So you've always got to keep that in mind. Crushing Rend gets exponentially more powerful the harder the content becomes. The higher the enemy's defense, the more levels they have, the stronger Crushing Rend will become, where Cruelty will be a consistent thing, right? It will just take 20% off every single time. So you always want 1 Cruelty in your team, and Crushing Rend then is really the optimal PvE DPS blessing, right? It's better than, I think, now Soul Reap. Right? The reason I say this is the only way Timota has done this, the only way he's done this is because he's got a 6-star Crushing Rend. So I imagine what he has done is he has gone in, he has been able to kill the Terrasses in one go, so he has to deal with 1 Terrasse, then kill another one, right? He's using double Morag, so he's probably ally attacking with 1 Morag to kill 1 Terrasse, and then he's ally attacking with the other Morag to kill Terrasse, then he's killing the Marichka, or basically probably controlling the waves until he's ready to kill the Marichka, kills the Marichka, then he does the double ally attack again to one-shot the Terrasses. That's probably how he's done it, but he wouldn't be able to do that if he didn't have a 6-star Crushing Rend, because he wouldn't be able to one-shot it. He's able to one-shot it because Morag's defense-based, so doesn't get the penalty that you normally have with Terrasse, because Terrasse passive reduces your champion's attack value. So he's able to get around that by using a defense-based champion. And because it's 6-star Crushing Rend, he's able to ignore... He's probably got it in Savage Cruel, so that's 30%. The monster level here is 260, so he's ignoring 26% on top of the 30%. So he's at 56% already. He's probably got it in Helm Smasher as well, so that's another 25%. So he's got 30 plus 26, so that's 56, plus another 25, so that's 56, 66, 76. 81% ignore defense. He's also got a bit of Cruelty in here, so that will bring it down further. So he's probably able to ignore 82, 83% of the 8,000 defense, which is why he's able to one-shot them, because it's probably in very strong gear as well. Probably some of the best gear on his account. That's the only way he's been able to kill that. And I'd imagine when he gets to the Harima wave, he's doing something similar, where he's going before the Yumikos, and he's able to one-shot the Harimas. Just take them out. Because if you can kill Harima really quickly, she's not a problem, right? There's no revivers on that wave. As long as you can survive a nuke, which all of these champions are going to be built tanky because you've got 2 defense-based champions, so they're going to be tanky anyway. You've also got a defense buff from Steel Skull. So he's using the defense buff to boost in Morag, and then he's using the Crushing Rend to one-shot the problems. That's the only way you can do it. I actually didn't think you could do it because I didn't think Morag had it in her. But I suppose if you can do true damage, any champion can kill anything. So that's what he's trying to get towards, as close as he can to true damage. He also has a defense buff as well, so that'll help even further. He's probably going Steel Skull, increase defense, Fodbar, drop defense, Morag, kill one Taras, Morag, kill the other Taras, then start working on the Marichka, and then repeat that cycle, kill the 2 Tarases again, then kill the other champions, then move to wave 2, kill the Sulfurian straight out of the bat, because you can't afford the revive, then probably kill the Krokmars, because you can't afford to lose too much of your statistics, then kill the Barsathas. Then he's moving on to wave 3, one shot in the Harima, same rotation again, Steel Skull, increase defense, drop defense, one shot Harima, reset, wait, kill the Karato, kill the Yumiko, job done. But if you haven't got a 6-star Morag, you can't do it. Because they're too tanky, right? And he's probably got some of the best gear you'll ever see on the account as well, because he's a Kraken, so... It's good to see that it can be done. I'm happy to be proven wrong. But I was still a little bit surprised. But I didn't really put into my mindset of like how broken Crushing Rend really is. That's the thing. It's how broken the Crushing Rend is because it ignores such a large amount of defense. Do you think that 5-star Neri will work well with Frenzy and Sand Devil? It would be okay. Yeah, Frenzy can do the job. He's not as efficient. Is Frenzy the new dude? He's not as efficient, right? Because he can place it 3 times at random, but it's only a 50% chance of activating, so it's not going to be as efficient, but he can do it. You can't attack the Marichka, because if you attack the Marichka, QWERTY, you're going to get counterattacked, right? Whenever an enemy attacks Marichka, he uses this ability, so you're just going to perma-stun. I mean, if you one-shot the Marichka and you can tank 2 of these attacks, then maybe you can go straight Marichka. But I would have thought he would have killed the Tarasis, then the Marichka, so this didn't one-shot you. It depends if that's doing enough damage or not. But that will... he'll basically attack you with that. No, he wasn't running a Reviver. He wasn't running... Oh, I mean, he was, wasn't he? Because Kinegashi's a Reviver, right? Is Kinegashi the Reviver? I always mix Nogorio up with Kinegashi because they look very similar. Maybe he's reviving. Yeah, maybe he's reviving. Yeah, it could work that way then. Yeah, I mean, you could do it that way as well. Kill the Marichka outright. Because he's one-shot in everything, right? I would imagine that Morag is one-shot in anything it attacks when it's doing an ally attack with a defense buff. So he's probably one-shotting it, letting it die, then reviving, then one-shotting the next Taras, then one-shotting the other Taras. So yeah, it could be in Stone Skim. It's also another ally attack, so he's basically rolling the RNG of which target gets the joint attack. Because when he uses Morag, this is only 2 as well. So he's rolling the RNG a bit. So he's probably just straight up killing the Marichka, yeah. But here's the thing, right? Someone might get excited. I got a 5-star Morag. I'm very close. You're actually a chasm away. The chasm between 5-star Crushing Rend and 6-star Crushing Rend is like... it's massive. It's huge. Right? It's basically like taking a champion from level 5 to level 6. That's how much of a chasm it is to go from rank 5 Crushing Rend to rank 6. It's so nuts. It really is. So I'm just checking Dragon Age to see where I am in. Ooh, 255. Ooh. It's good. I'm in a good position now, I think. Gear is an important factor, Dutchy, but I think in this instance, Crushing Rend is more valuable. In this instance, it's all about Crushing Rend. Because it is what the problem you've got is, can I breach enough of the defense? That's the challenge you've got. Am I able to breach enough of the defense that I'm able to basically get through it? If I can, great. If I can't, no. You know? But you could probably do it with, like, the gear is secondary in that sense. The gear is a valuable part of it, but it's almost like, can you do it with really, really, like, OP gear and without Crushing Rend? No. Can you do it with Crushing Rend but good gear? Yes. That's kind of like what I'm trying to say. Is like the gear is important, but it's not the essential aspect. The essential aspect that it has to be Crushing Rend because it's just so powerful. Yeah, he probably run it a number of times. I mean, it gives me hope. The only problem is I don't have a 6-star Morag. I have a 2-star Morag. I don't have a 6-star. But I'll give it a go. I'll get there and I will give it a go. I don't think it's going to work without the 6-star, though. I think it's just too powerful. I've completely finished Plague Home. I did a bit of a showcase today on like how you can do this with Akemtum, where you can actually use like stun set. I mean, he's really good for Dragon 25 soloing as well. Like some of the stuff that Akemtum can do. Like he's just so good. The build that I've got him in is terrible though. It's really slow. But if you put him in a fast build, Akemtum is a monster. I was wondering how good of a provoke tank is Akemtum in Hydra if you put him in provoke gear and you can get a poison now. The only downside is you can't activate it as much because half the heads can't take a poison. So if you get a bad rotation, you have no poison compatibility, then you're not really provoking, which is a shame. How do I beat P24? P24, this one. Are you saying you haven't got enough Awakening? I'm looking forward to pulling out the Boltsmith. Which floor was it going to be? So this one? No, one of these has got the Boltsmith. I'm pulling out of the vault again. Which one is it? This one? There we go. For this one, I'm gonna whip out the Boltsmith. I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing I can help you with there. You need 10. Welcome to Rosterlock Cintranos. Would you use a 6-star Crusher on Dracomorph rather than Cruelty? It depends on the content. Laz the man, what content will you... Like, if you're going to do it in Clan Boss, no. In Clan Boss, Crushing Rend is not worth it. If you're going to use him in... Like, Crushing Rend is really only useful if you're going to do actual damage. And Draco is more of a poisoner than his damage is great on the A1. I'm not trying to diminish him. Yeah, you would absolutely use Cruelty or Phantom Touch in Clan Boss. It's going to out damage because the defense number of the boss is too low. You got to remember, like the Terrasses we were just talking about have like 8,900 defense. Clan Boss has got 1,520. So by the time you put a Cruelty on that and a decreased defense, the boss is at like 300 defense. So ignoring defense in Clan Boss is just such a low value. Especially if you put the area bonus on as well. That's another 20% you're already ignoring. It's just not worth it. So Cruelty, you want one Cruelty in the team, and then either you want Phantom Touch or Brimstone. The way that, like, the best way to set up a Clan Boss team, like the ideal architecture of a Clan Boss team, is basically this, right? You'd have someone, ideally Jintoro should actually be in Brimstone, but I know at 6-star his Brimstone will outpower, his Phantom Touch will outperform a Brimstone at 6-star, but you'd want one person with Cruelty. A spare slot here could be an Aura if you wanted to. Like, she doesn't hit enough times to really warrant the Phantom Touch, so I've given the Aura because I can gain a little bit more attack. One Brimstone, one Cruelty, everyone else in Phantom Touch. If it's an unkillable attack-based champion, right? If it's a defense-based champion you're using, then Phantom Touch is useless. So, any guides? Yeah, I'm working. So I don't know if it's going to be lower awakenings. I'm currently working on getting masteries for Delver to showcase Delver as an option. I don't know where she is. She's up here somewhere. But she is 4-star. But I'll be showcasing Delver. I can't really help that. I got a 4-star, you know. But I will try to build the rest of the team without it. See if I can do that. I'll be honest. I believe Amius is the first piece of content where essentially some form of awakening is essential. Like, one champion needs to be at least 3-star in my opinion. Otherwise, you're going to struggle with him. You don't need anyone else to have awakening. Just the one target that's going to be the target on the alternate form needs to be awakened. Otherwise, it's just going to get one shot. It's just too, you're just going to die. I know Deadwood said he was like trying to cook up some ideas about how to do revive teams. I don't know how far he's got with that. But I know he was thinking about possible ways that you can die, revive, and still deal with it and different things. But you just, I personally feel you lose too much control, so you can't lose someone. So, for the Awakened stages in Soulcross, I have at least 10 built champions with Awakenings, but then some random stages along the way, I've only built 1 or 2 champs. Yeah, I mean, half my champions aren't even built. You have to make Jintora slower than you would a Draco to make him work. The whole tune normally changes Nobo. Because of the way that he gains turn meter, normally there needs to be minor adjustments across the board in a Jintoro team. Normally. But it's very, like, tune specific. How much defense would a 1-star Valk need? It depends. If you're wrapping something like a Venomage around it, or a Pythian passive, then you can get away with like 6,000. Maybe 7,000. But if you're going raw, you're probably going to need 7k plus. Yeah. You can do 1-star, but you have to stack a lot of damage reduction, right? I'm guessing you... Kessel, I'm guessing you had Venomage. I'm guessing that had heal reduction. You probably had Pythian's passive, right? That would have gone in. And you start layering in things like you probably had Strengthen. That would have gone in. Maybe Ally Protection on there as well to mitigate half the damage. Guardian sets. That's what you have to do. If you have low Awakening, you need to leverage as much damage reduction mechanics as you can. Putting Guardian sets on people. Putting things like Bulwark on someone so you take 5% away. Putting things like Strengthening where you can appropriately so you don't break the tune. Putting things like Pythian passives. Those kind of damage reduction passives. Yeah, a Weller in a Guardian set. Strength and Mithrali. Exactly, there you go, see? Pythian's passive doesn't stack, I don't think. It's unique. Can you look at Zeal and tell if it makes Poison Explosion do more damage with champions like Elenarl? Not Elenarl. Is she... let me check. Let me check. It won't for activation. But Explosion converts the poison into enemy max HP as a direct damage dealer. And Zeal directly increases the damage you deal, right? That's what the Zeal artifact set does. I think. Let me double check. Yeah. So it should... in theory. I'm just checking it now. Skill ID. But it affects kinds 6,000. So as long as Elenarl deals damage as a 6,000 damage type, it will work. Let me check. Yes, it should. Not another roach. It 100% should work like that. Because Poison Explosion takes the poison percentages, converts it into an enemy max HP explosion, which is then direct damage. So therefore, if it's direct damage, you can multiply that direct damage by Zeal. But keep in mind, it is enemy max HP. So if there's a passive on the boss that reduces enemy max HP, then it won't be able to go beyond the 10%. Stephen, in short, if they follow the trend of what they've got in the code, then there will likely be a rotation that has Morrigan. Yes. Yeah, so if any boss has enemy max HP, not another roach, explosions just get reduced, right? That's why people have moved towards activators, because activators simply activate the debuff, and the debuff is not subject to any enemy max HP passives, but it is subject to things like poison damage, right? So explosions won't suffer the problem of minus 90% poison, but they will suffer the problem of enemy max HP cap, whereas activators won't suffer the problem of max HP cap, but will suffer the consequence of the minus 90% secret passive. Like the new Amius boss takes minus 90% damage from poisons. So I've been putting all my fusion on hold today. Like, I haven't really done much champion training. Fire Knight, I haven't done anything because I'm all waiting for the Dungeon Divers tomorrow. I've done a little bit of upgrading, but I got Dungeon Divers tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be getting Tormin. I'm also going to be summoning my two Bovuses, maybe 3 Bovuses, because I should be able to summon the Bovos. So I'm basically sitting on 250 points, right? So tomorrow the Dungeon Divers will be more, and then we'll also get the champion training, so we should get enough for like 3 Bovos. So I'll be summoning 3 Bovos, Cronum, Jetney, Tormin, all tomorrow. If you think if you built Geomancer tight enough that you could solo the Iron Twins with him. Maybe. The biggest problem that you're going to have is, do you have enough budget to be able to build the resistance you require, the accuracy you require, and the regen set? That's the problem with Geomancer. Oella can cheat because essentially she's got an aura plus a resist buff, which she extends, so you can essentially run permanent increased resistance most of the time. So it's a bit of a problem if you can't, like that. You're essentially saving yourself like a couple of hundred resistance there. Yeah, and you need speed, right? There's a lot of things. You got to remember, Oella gives herself a massive heal on the A2 as well. Do you know what it is for breakpoints? I think around about what I've got him is pretty good so far. I've not really struggled with him. Where is he at? Like, I think a good 6,000 defense is a good breakpoint. His defense base is quite high, so you can scale it that well. Like, I don't think I've got him in full defense. Like, I've got him in crit damage, for example. If I put him in defense, I could get him to 60k quite comfortably. So yeah, about 6k is about right. Should we do a quick live arena so I don't decay? More than enough. Keep in mind his HP doesn't do anything for his healing. Right? His HP does nothing. The value of HP only applies if you want to heal your allies. If you just want to heal yourself, it's all based off your defense. I'm pretty sure. Or am I mistaken? I could be mistaken. For some reason, I didn't think it was part... I thought it was just the defense that mattered. Hey, Patrick, how's it going? Oh, he heals for a percentage of his HP. Okay. So there is a breakpoint then. I think that's a good balance you've got there. Yeah, last stream of the year. Your boy needs a break. It's been a long year. It's been a crazy year when you think about it. If you were pulled... Oh, hang on. I need to just choose what I want to do here. I have no speed team on me. I have no idea what champions I got built anymore since Intranos. Emergency poll. I think it kind of worked out. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's kind of worked out. Unless his Kai'Ma is just super fast. I have no idea if she's built. I was trying to find Timid the Fool. Oh, it worked out. Excellent. Well, isn't that a dream? GG. Why wouldn't you just ban the Morrigan? Like, these things baffle me. Just ban the Morrigan, because you knew that was going to happen. And now you're kind of lost. Because you have no damage. Yeah, like, you've lost. Oh well, such is life. After 1 week of playing Zyntronos, how would you rate the content? You know, I quite like coming into raid every day and actually having something different that's going to make me think. I like that concept. I actually like it more than I thought I would. That I have to go to each stage, and each stage is presenting me with a new thought-provoking, like, okay, who do I need to use for this? If there wasn't such an expense behind the game modes, I think it would be better. But the biggest put off, the biggest thing that I have that I'm always like, oh, I'd love to do this, but I can't. Like, I would really want to push Soul Cross, but I haven't got half the champions built, and I know if I build them properly, it's going to cost me like 10 million silver. That I don't have because I got to do an artifact enhancement event right now. So that is the problem that I've got. Is I actually like the daily aspect to it. I like the progression feel to it. I like some of the challenges they presented. I like the fact I've discovered champions that I haven't used in ages, or I've never used, that actually look really OP, and I didn't really think of how crazy some of the skill sets that they've got. Like, you know, Killian the Lucky, for example. I didn't realize how actually strong his kit is. But the silver cost to Zyntronos is going to kill the game mode. Because you might find it okay this month, but next month you're going to have a whole new set of rotations. You're going to have to do it all over again. And the challenge is fun. It shouldn't be a problem. The problem is, because the economy is trash in Raid right now, where the cost of silver has gone up like 33%, but we haven't had 33% more silver. Like, that's the fundamental problem with it, is how do you encourage people to keep playing the game mode every month when they might just suddenly hit a roadblock they can't complete, or they have to spend 1 billion silver every single month doing it. You gotta remember, every single month we're gonna have to do a new set of rotations. It's like, well, I don't have the capacity to spend that much silver. You know? Yeah, exactly. And Gem, for example. Gems is a problem. Because what happens next rotation on Amius when Venomage is not in the rotation? Because I doubt she's going to be in there back-to-back. I'm going to need a new tank now. And that tank might have Cycle of Magic. So now I have to spend gems to get rid of Cycle of Magic because I can't take that into the fight. Which is fine strategically, but not at 150 gem cost. One of the best things about Dragonair, potentially one of the worst things, but the amount of fun you can have trying different combinations to beat challenging content, because there isn't such a high penalty to failing, right? You keep your energy if you fail. You can swap gear for free. You can have a lot of fun experimenting with the roster of heroes that you've got. And that's really good. They probably do it too good because you basically can get one set of gear and you don't need any other gear. So they probably go too far in that direction. But then they reset their gear every 3 months, so they can afford to do that. But when you come to raids, when you commit to a build, that's like 1 million silver. It's going to take you like a couple of refills to recover that 1 million silver. So the cost to entry of Zyntronos isn't just roster lock-in. It's, do you have the resources available to keep farming the silver, to keep building new heroes? And that, I think, is a bit of a concern. It's quite easy to fix, in my opinion. All they need to do is they need to remove campaign selling penalties from sets from campaign for anything that's rare plus. Yeah, at the end of a season, Buhog, you lose all your gear. Any gear that you farmed gets deleted. And they reset your champions back to level 1. They give you you keep everything you've paid for. Like, you keep all your heroes, you keep anyone that's booked, you've got any excess books, you keep anything you've bought, you keep. But gear is treated as a resource like energy, right? It's treated like that. Hey YST, how's it going? Welcome. Why regear? Why not gear more champions? Because often, in order to beat some of these hard stages, Dutchy, I'm going to need to use my best gear, right? If I'm going to need to beat terraces with epic champions, well, I'm going to have to use my best gear. I'm not going to be able to use my second best gear, or my third best gear, or my fourth best. I'm going to have to use the best that I've got. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be possible for me to beat it. So, and that's coming from someone like me who is endgame. So I'm not just thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the general population of players who don't have 200 champions built, who might be building a new champion but don't have a depth of speed gear to go the speed required to do what they need to do. Well, they're going to have to keep regearing. So my solution to this problem is one of the main things that is a major problem, and like everyone in chat will tell me right now, and probably will agree with me, nobody likes doing Ice Golem because, one, the fail rate is too high, and two, you get half the amount of silver when you compared to doing Fire Knight. Right? That's why people don't do Ice Golem. It's not because necessarily the sets are bad, because actually Ice Golem carries some of the best sets in the game now. They don't do it because they don't get as much reward. Either it takes longer and you just don't get anything back from it. So what I would do, because the reason why that is the case, if people don't know, in Ice Golem, you've got life, offense, defense, critical rate, resistance, retaliation. Right? So you've got 5 sets. Those 5 sets exist in life, offense, defense, critical rate, retaliation, and I think there's one more as well. So resistance, right? So 5 of the sets that are in Ice Golem are found in the campaign. And what they did from way back when they first made the game is they applied a penalty to any artifact sets that you acquired from campaign. So you sell them for a lot less than if you were selling, say, Cursed or Provoke or Savage, right? Like, for example, Fire Knight has Fury and Curing, but it has immunity. It has crit damage, Frenzy. Most of these sets are not campaign sets. So when you run one stage of Fire Knight, you're probably going to earn like 40% less silver by doing the same thing in Ice Golem. So what they should do is remove the penalty for any rarity rare plus. So you don't affect the economy from farming campaign, but you do solve the problem of, I want to do Ice Golem, but I need the silver, so it's not worth me doing that for silver. I need to go find it elsewhere. That's step 1. Just adding more income to the sets that we don't want to keep in Ice Golem would be better. Change number 2, I would essentially halve the amount of gear swapping cost. Just halve it. Permanently. Right, you want us to swap gear twice as much. I understand you're not going to want a free regear. Just half the cost. Okay, I mean, it's not going to break the economy. We're still going to spend that silver anyway. Just halve it. 200,000 to swap one piece from one champion to another is so much silver. It's unreal. It really is. And that's a simple change they could do tomorrow. Both of those changes require very little like game adjustments, but it would massively improve the quality of life for the economy for the game. You're not going to make it so much that you have tons of silver lying around, but you will make it better for the average player to be able to play the game without feeling like they have to scrape every single silver together just to get one artifact enhancement event done. And there'll still be a desire to spend money because now it's going to be more rewarding for you to run Ice Golem. Why? Because you're actually going to get more silver. So I'll run more of that dungeon. Cool. Excellent. There's more interest in me trying to do Cintranos. Oh, I need that soul to get that Cintranos stage done. There you go. You've created more reason for people to actually invest in your game because they realize now they're getting more. It's like it's worth. It's essentially easier for them to try, so therefore there's more reason for them to spend. Right? Think of it like that logically. It's almost like when you're trying to get people into the shop, are you going to create loads of roundabouts for them to get into the shop, or are you going to try and make the road straight as possible? Well, they're still going to come and spend money in your shop then, but if you can get them there quicker, then that's better. And that's the way that I see it. If you just make it easier for people to find reasons to spend money, then you will find that your income goes up. You don't need to make it like, I have to buy this, otherwise I can't exist, which is what their philosophy seems to be. It's almost like, let's like strangle your ability to play the game so much that the only answer is to spend money. That's not the way to do it. What you do is you give players compelling reasons to want to spend more money by giving them gameplay decisions and gameplay barriers that they can overcome by spending money, but don't feel like the only way to overcome it is by spending money, because that's when people get frustrated. I haven't seen the new commercial, no. Thoughts on free regear tokens? Honestly, I don't think... I like the... I don't want to say that idea is bad. I just think it's like you're trying to stick a square peg in a round hole, right? You're not really solving the problem. You're almost like trying to put a plaster over a gaping wound, or trying to put a plaster over a burst pipe, you know? The problem is the pipe, not like the leak. If you fix the pipe, then you won't have a leak. And I think that's kind of like what I think should happen. They need to look at they need to take into account the fact they've hiked artifact enhancements by about 30% over the last 12 months. But they haven't actually, they haven't put 30% more silver in the economy. So they've essentially inflated the event cost without giving you adequate consolation. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be 1-to-1, right? You don't have to inflate the silver cost and also give 30% back, but you need to give something. There needs to be a justification why the cost has gone up. You know, and I also don't like the free regearing event, because what happens is you never know about it, and then you can't actually plan ahead. So the amount of times they've done it on like Tuesday to Thursday, people work full time, right? If you did it on a weekend, maybe. If you told them, hey, next week on Tuesday, there's going to be a free regearing event, that's better. But they just generally chuck it in the game, and you've got basically got 2 days to basically do something with it. That's another option as well, Chalk and Cheetos. That's not a terrible idea, but I'm also thinking from a development perspective, and that would require a lot of development work. I'm trying to almost like think, well, what's a quick win that can alleviate the problem right now that doesn't require us to invest thousands of hours of development time? Well, just changing a few numbers to adjust the economy to back in the player's favor a little bit without necessarily punishing the income plan. That seems easy enough. No, it is 30% Stico, because I did the math on it. I actually did the math and reverse engineered it. It's about 30%. So... And it's like the free regearing event they launched for Cintranos was actually not great for a lot of people. Right? Certainly for like the mid to late game player, yes. But for people like me, by the time I needed the free regearing event, which is right now, it was over. Because it took me like 4 days to get up to Saltgross. So the free regearing event was done. I almost needed it a week later. You know, so I just think that would be simple fixes. Fix the campaign sale penalty, because I feel like it's old, right? I don't really feel like it's relevant anymore. I understand the concept why they did it originally, because they were like trying to make sure that you couldn't like farm campaign as a primary source of silver overdoing dungeons, but we've evolved beyond that right now. The other thing I want them to do, which I think is very important, is this City of Cintranos hard mode should not be giving 5-star gear at all. I would change it, so instead of it guaranteeing legendary and mythic gear, I would change it so that it's guaranteed 6-star gear, but it can roll rare, epic, and legendary and mythic gear. Because I'll take, like 9 times out of 10, I'll take a 6-star rare over a 5-star legendary. Yeah, exactly, Constant. It's not just the silver cost of gearing them for Cintranos. It's the cost of then swapping it back. You know, so everything in Cintranos hard mode should be minimum 6-star with a chance to be rare, epic, legendary, and mythical as a balance, right? Because you can't just give me 6-star legendary guaranteed. That would just be too strong. So balance it out, because I could probably build after one rotation an adequate Merciless set, right? I've done pretty much, if you look here, apart from some of the Soul Cross stages, I have pretty much done every single location that's going to give me gear, right? I've got 1, 2, 3. I think I've just got 3 stages left. Yeah, so I've got basically 3 stages left that are going to give me gear. Okay? And look at how little gear that I actually have managed to achieve from this one rotation. That is of value. That's it. And I'll be honest, most of it should be sold. I'm just keeping it because I've kept it, right? This one is okay. This one, pretty useless, but it's okay. It's average, right? Probably useless, sell, really. This one should be sold. This one, I've kept it because it triple rolled. Should be sold. It's okay. Like, probably should be sold. 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 I'm keeping it because I've got so little gear. But, like, to finish near enough all of hard mode and walk away with this. Like, I've got lucky here that was speed. Like, it just feels bad. I can't build a Merciless set. I can't even build a bad Merciless set. I've got one solid piece, which is that. Every other piece in here is trash. It's just not good, right? 5-star, it's just not good. It's all trash. It should all really be sold. Like, that one I've kept because it's rolled the right stats. So in my opinion, I'd much rather all of this 5-star gear be 6-star gear, but rare. Because at least I can use it. No, Mr. T2 Sugars, for me, this is terrible. It's just bad. I can literally go into Forge after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks of playing the game and pull out at least a couple of useful pieces of perception. Because this requires me to have 6 pieces, right? This is what you got to remember. I need to have a minimum of 6 pieces to make this set valuable. It's just bad. And it's not 1 week. It's the entirety of a month's worth of hard mode, apart from 3 areas. So it's the entirety of hard mode for 1 month has barely given me a single one. I can do 1 month of Doom Tower hard at the top and walk away with about a full set of lethal gear. Because I've got the Forge. So I'm not saying I want the best gear straight away. I'm just saying that 5-star gear for a hard mode is poor. And this applies across the board, right? This applies across the board. I'm talking as well arena. Right? How many people, honestly, keep anything from this chest? Honestly, how many people keep anything? No, I'm not saying that, Gelner. Because, like, what I'm trying to say is, I'd rather at least get 6-star rare pieces so they're at least decent, rather than get to, like, Soul Cross and do some of these hard stages and spend millions of silver to get 5-star gear. Yeah, we keep the gems. But pretty much, I'll go through this. Unless I get lucky and I get a 6-star piece, I'll sell it all. Pretty much. Unless you get lucky and you walk away with a 6-star piece, you sell it all. Because it's just, you know. That's why I said it should be rare. Because you can't really get crazy gear unless it's, like, epic and legendary. Right now, it being, like, 5-star is just poor. I'd rather it be, like, 6-star rare epic mostly with a chance to get legendary mythic than it being what it is right now. I mean, people got a 9-set protection from the first week of Hydroclash. So if that's possible, it should be possible here. I'm sure that it was possible for some people. But it's the principle... To me, it's less about the actual content. It's more the principal fact that they still think that 5-star gear for this is worth it. For this type of content, where you must have a 6-star Crushing Rend, they think 5-star gear is an adequate reward. And my argument to that is no. Like, how many times have we done gear cleanses on the stream and everyone's been telling me to sell my 5-star gear? That you should just be automatically selling 5-star gear. You shouldn't even roll 5-star gear. Like, just because it's a powerful set now, does that change that philosophy? I don't know. But all that being said, I actually enjoy the game mode, right? I know it sounds like I'm being hypercritical, but that's the way I think, because I'm a coder by nature. I think about the minute details. I think about the actual performance. The game mode concept actually feels quite good. I come in every day. I've got 8 keys. I go to a different stage like this, and I think, how am I going to beat this? What champions am I going to use today? That's quite a fun experience. But the experience comes at quite a high price. And I don't know how long players will be willing to spend that price, especially if the rewards are nothing. Like, the best thing about this, and I actually would not have cared if they didn't put those sets in. I would have still been perfectly happy because of this. I think this is the best thing they've ever added to the game. Mythical Charms. It's like literally the best thing of the update. Because I can target create any set that's going to help me. But pretty much in this forge, I have a set for every purpose. Every purpose. If I need a resist build, I've got Righteous. If I need to tank, I've got Defiant. If I want to like build an arena team, I've got Bolster. Right? If I want a damage set, I've got Lethal. If I want to build a protection team, I've got Guardian. I've got the best lifesteal set. I've got the best Frost set. Fatal, actually pretty decent set. I've got the best accuracy set, one of the best sets for arena, right? So I can come in here and I can literally go, I want rank 5, this, and I want speed. And I can go give it to me. Right? And I can spend these mythical charms, and we get so many of them. It's so good. Right? I can do that. It's so good. Now, it might seem like that's terrible, but look what I was able to get today. It didn't roll very well, but 6-star mythical boots. Imagine that was an accuracy stat, right? Check this out. HP percentage. Right? I can literally target farm things. I can get this type of thing. I can get these. Look at these boots. This is the best thing of the entire update, Mythical Charms. Absolute best thing. This one, actually, I used my Chaos Ore, my 6-star legendary Chaos Ore. I converted a flat stat defense into this. So this is like the charms are the best thing. And this will give you the best access to mythical gear. Now, it does create the question then, is mythical gear too rare in dungeons? Yeah, I did. Because the thing is, Nobo, you get so many of them. I have exclusively crafted every bit of lethal that I've ever had. All of my lethal gear has come through mythical. I've got so many charms. Every month, I'm going to get 300 mythical charms. See, I've still got some left to get here. I think there's a couple more as well in different places. I think the bosses give you some as well. So I've still got some mythical charms there and there. Right? I will get mythical... you get 300 a month. And Perception is the best set for like Yumikos and stuff like that. If you want to go fast in arena, Perception is normally good if you need the accuracy with it. So yeah. Lethal, Bolster, Perception, Defiant. Those are all mythical candidates. And you get so many of them. I was like, well, I might as well use some. No. You have to do hard mode for mythical charms, which I think is wrong. Personally, I think this chest here is a joke. It needs improving. Personally, I would say this should contain 16 rewards. You only get one of these a month. So I'm basically getting... out of this chest, I'm getting the same rewards that I would get from one-day farming. It's so poor. This should be like quadruple. Right? Give the new players, give early and mid-game players a little bit more than like, oh, hey, by the way, you got like 250 coins. What are you going to do with 250 mortal coins? Like, seriously, what would you do with that as a new player? You can't even make a stone out of it. At least this is more valuable because you can buy something with essence, but you literally nothing to do with that. You get 1 a month if you can clear all the stages. So what I'm saying is, if I clear all the stages as a new player, I get 2 glyphs. Yay! Wow, I get basically 1 day of glyphs. Just give a little bit more there. Like when you compare the rewards in hard mode for completing it all, and then the hard mode chest going forward, it's insane. Like, come on. Just give a little bit more. Give it a little bit. You get more in the actual daily progression than you get from that chest. The actual rewards are good. It's just the quantity that's the problem, right? 5-star glyphs are really good for players. These coins are actually quite good if they don't want to spend their energy on Iron Twins. A bit more energy is very good for new players. Epic books, very good for mid-game players. The rewards are not the problem. The value, the quantity is. Because you're going to get 4 of these at random. So you might basically get 4 times 2 glyphs, which is essentially the same as you running a stage 20 or something in Faction Wars. That's all I'm saying. Is I just feel like it should be like 16 rewards. The silver is always a joke. I ignore the silver. You know, the actual day. The thing about normal mode is actually these rewards here are pretty good. Because what you're doing is you're giving new players ways to get oil without having to spend it on energy. You're giving them you're giving them classic arena refills. Actually really good because that helps you get Great Hall medals, right? Great Hall is a big barrier of entry for a lot of new players. Giving them more free tokens is basically accelerating their Great Hall. Excellent. More energy. Excellent. XP. Excellent. Silver. Now, it's all very subjective if they can do it, which is a whole nother topic, but the actual map rewards are very good. This chest just doesn't feel appropriate. I don't really know who thought it up. It's almost like this is going to be a chest you open, you forget it even exists, right? It's a little bit like these anniversary chests. When they're these lower ones, you kind of open it and go, oh, cool, I got like 100,000 silver. You don't really want them. You don't go hunting them. And that's what that chest feels like. It's almost like, oh, we you know, hard mode gets a chest, so normal has to get one, so we'll just chuck some random things in and give it to you, you know? Just feels a bit poor. Whereas this is really good. Oil, excellent. You know, energy, excellent. Brews, excellent. Champion trainers, easy. Chickens, yes. Chaos Ore, okay. Not very valuable for a new player. Forge Charms could be quite good, especially if you've got some of those Romantu quests when you start getting towards it. Glyphs are on there. These rewards are excellent. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how it develops. So, but as I said, as a general game mode, like I've still got 3 keys left, I need to use them today. I quite like it. I like coming in every day and doing new stages. I am a bit like I've finished most of hard mode. Right, if you look, I haven't got much left of hard mode, so normal will probably, I'll lose more interest because this is going to be too easy for me, but that's fine. It's given me a good week or 2 of compelling challenges, and I'm having to build a bunch of champions for it, but that's okay. It's okay that it's not going to give me a month's worth, because I don't want to spend a month doing every single difficult stage in the world, so it's fine. Now that mythical shards are in the game, you should put them as a reward in live arena chests so that isn't the only way to get them. Mythical shards are in live arena. I don't know what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean, Nathan. The mythical charms are in live arena. Mythical shards, see? If it's Silver 4, if I win 35 battles, I get a live arena. I get a mythical shard. Whether or not that's enough, I don't know. Question. Between Bambus and Corrigar, who would be the best 6th champion for Nightmare when paired with Elva, Michinaki, Newt, Grisor, Ugo? We don't really need more survivability with Grisor. I would honestly say neither. I would just bring another damage dealer. You got so much survivability between Elva, Ugo, and Grisor. Do you really need another tank? Just bring more damage. Yeah, I'm going for the fusion. What do you think is most important to focus on? Clearance and Centranos or finishing the tail of Ramantu? I'll be honest, Ramantu is insanely powerful for some floors. YST was having an absolute nightmare trying to beat one of these floors here. Which one was it? I think it was this one. He hated it. And I just Ramantu'd the whole thing because his Tormund's on wave 1. Ramantu's a very, very strong champion for Tag Team Arena. I would clear as much Centranos as you can, but I wouldn't necessarily say like sacrificing Ramantu because you want to try and get like one more floor is worth it, because there'll probably be one floor that you can't do. So the ones for Fortune are Mythical Charms. Yeah, I would like to see Mythical Charms in more places. They're really good. Mythical Charms are really good. People would be more interested in Live Arena if you need less wins for the chest. I do think the chest is quite high, because the thing is, even if you win 35, like, you get so few rewards out of this. And again, what are you getting? You're getting 5-star gear. So, you know, you're getting 5-star gear out of a chest after having to spend all that effort. Even at gold 1, you're getting 5-star gear half the time. It's not that the Panda's terrible, Tyler. I just think for his team specifically, he's got so much support already. I don't really see what Panda brings over what he's already got. So in that setup, I would just bring another damage dealer because I can just do more damage, right? If you bring another max HP champion in there, then great. You're just going to do more damage. I don't really think the Panda is going to add a lot of value. If his team is still unstable, then yeah, Panda probably. But I don't think it would be if you've got Grisor, Ugo, and Elva. That's really, really stable. You're on course for Tormund tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, the fusion I've just been kind of doing. Honestly, I know a lot of people say fusions are really hard these days. The only thing that I find difficult about fusions is artifact enhancement. I feel like there's just always one too many artifact enhancements in a fusion. And it's just a drain on my silver. And what ends up happening is, like, now, you see, I've got no silver. And it stops me from doing stuff that I want to do in the game. Because I never have enough silver. And that's the only thing that I'm struggling with at the moment in the game, is I'm always struggling for silver. And everything has to be a decision of, I can do that right now, but it's going to cost me X amount of silver. Do I have that available to me? You know, is that something I can afford to do? Dungeon Divers is a bit, but Dungeon Divers, they tend to, as long as they put it across 2 tournaments, it's not so bad. Like, for example, Fire Knight is going to start with Dungeon Divers. They normally will cross over 2. Dungeon Divers is also up there, but at least they cross it over, right? But the artifact enhancement always feels like an expense. There's no real you can make it somewhat efficient, but it's always a problem, you know. We're building up a nice little stockpile of soulstones again. We've got 30 plus 11, so I got 41 tier 1s ready to go for the next summoning event. I buy it every week. I have to, look. Every week I buy it. It's the first thing I buy these days now is the silver, because I just, like, I can't earn it enough. Everything costs silver in this game. It's so crazy. Let's just do clan boss, brutal. You know, some people will have a lot of silver, and that's normally because they are willing to spend thousands and thousands of energy in dungeons, and they have an incredible restriction set on what they're willing to keep. Right? If you play the game extremely brutal, where you only keep the absolute pinnacle pieces, then yeah, you can generate silver, but that requires you to run a lot more dungeons. It requires you to run a lot more things to do that, because essentially what you're doing is you're sacrificing the chance at something good for the sake of silver. So that means you're only keeping the things that have the best, you know, legendary plus. So you're missing out on, like, some pieces that might roll really well. If you're not rolling an epic piece, it might roll triple crit rate, right? That's not a viable solution for most people because they don't have infinite energy. Sure, but Stiko, how much, in all honesty, how much dungeon running have you done? Like, that's the thing. Either you're not playing the game or you're running dungeons non-stop. That's my understanding. Like, like people running 1,000 runs of Spider every clan versus clan, right? That's where you generate that kind of silver. They don't keep anything. They don't gear anything. They just run Spider for CVC. So I got up to like 50 million once and I spent it all in one day. I mean, in that case, Steve, you're just not playing much of the game. You're just using the same champions, right? Which, I mean, for me, it's more difficult because I'm doing content, right? So I'm doing new clan boss teams for content. I'm testing different champions. I'm play testing like different strategies. So for me, it's always going to be more expensive. Whereas realistically, I don't need to use half these champions. You know, I could literally just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. But I can't do that because I'm a content creator, right? I create videos. Imagine I basically said every single time I do Amius, I'm not going to come up with any strategies to do any of the videos on. It's just not going to work, right? That's why I'm working on Delver to see if Delver can do it so that I can make a video on it. That's why I've got another Akimtum because I wanted a second one so I could do content on. That's why I've got things like Kaja the Rye and Timit booked up. I don't need them for Arena, but I'm doing it to see if they're good, right? I've got Jinra the Stalker leveled up. Most people won't bother because they'll just go, I don't need him. But I'm doing it for content to see if there's anything interesting. So there's always that consequence. You know, that's like my downfall is, you know, I have to basically play the game exactly like you guys, but then also do content. Which is fine. I'm happy to do that. I need to push further in here because I want to try and get the rest of this gear. But this looks a bit rough. I've done some masteries on Deliana. Where do we get to on Deliana masteries now? Maybe we can try this. We didn't quite get to War Master. If you didn't have that 6-star Fusion, how would you have done Amius? Probably the YST method. I'll never be in the... I don't think I'll ever be in the program now. Yeah, I'm going to run her in a stun set. I was just hoping to War Master because I don't know. Like, let's have a look what the stage is like. What stage is it? Stage 14. Hard. Right, so we've got double Cupidus Venus on wave 1. That makes her a bit of a problem. Oh. The thing is, it's double Cupidus Venus on the first wave with Cardiel. So how the hell am I going to roll that? Like, what are people doing? They must be using Daliana. It's the Shiramani I don't have. I wonder if this is not possible without Shiramani. Are any of these without Shiramani? No. Shiramani, 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 Shiramani. I'll tell you why. What will happen is this. So if I just throw some champions in here a second. Right, watch what happens now. I can basically do that. This is what I'm talking about. Boom, boom. So if I don't get a sleep or stun, this is what's going to happen. And then Cardiel's going to come in a minute. Boom. Now, obviously, I'm not geared anyone, but that's the problem that you're going to have is... No, I know that, but what I'm trying to say is if I don't stun them enough, stun set's only 18%. What I'm saying is without the Shiramani, you haven't got the guaranteed freeze on the Cardiel. So you might get both Cupidus stuns and Cardiel and cleanses. And there is like this guy who can provoke the Cardiel, but it's on a 3-turn cooldown. And there's a 15, it was like it's a 25, 35% chance to stun. That's not too bad. This champ here has got just block buffs and a shield, not much use. I think this guy can provoke as well. Oh, he might be quite good actually. We might have to run a perma sentinel, right? So we might have to run like a sentinel over Daliaja. Like he's useless. It's like, and just stun set them down, but we'll have to do War Master and a HP burn. So basically, come in, RNG it to try and get double stun on Cupidus, and then provoke the Cardiel permanently on A1, because that's a 75% chance. Was it 60%? 70%? It's 85% chance to provoke. It's a pretty good chance. Yeah, well, I don't have Alsgore. I wonder if anyone's actually achieved it in the optimizer. Doubt it. I haven't pulled my Amius Remnant, no. I'm waiting for a personal CVC. I don't think I'll do it tomorrow. I think I'll do it on a personal CVC because it's too many points to lose out on a CVC. It's like 70,000 if you get a mythical. Okay, Soul Cross, hard, stage 14. Yeah, there's no teams in the optimizer for this. Nobody's done it yet on optimizer. And I wonder if it's because I don't have the Shiramani. That might be a blocker for me. And even with the Shiramani, look how many turns it's taking them. This one's a tough one. Like, the 26, only 26 people have done this in total. And all of them have Shiramani. Every single one of them. Ambassador Lethellin's not bad. You don't necessarily need the Alsgar. I think you need the Shiramani because that's the only way you can guarantee control. Because even if you get past wave 1, wave 2 is double Valkyrie. Wave 2 is double Valkyrie. And then wave 3 is Torments. With Brogni, you know? So that one, this one might just not be possible, which is frustrating because guess what? It's behind. All the really frustrating ones are behind. They've got the Cursed Remnants. So I'm gonna lose like 40 of my Cursed Remnants this rotation because of these like crazy restrictions. You know. So I've basically got to go through Fire Knight OS 20. Now I have done some masteries on Danag. Let's have a look how many masteries we got to on Danag Skull Reap. So we got him to 440, so we could probably try out a Danag. I think this is going to be done by this. And then either Chamfer. Like, the problem is there's just no sustain in this team. That's the main problem. This team has no sustain. There's no one to heal. There's no one to carry the team. I can one-shot someone, but I'll get one-shot myself. Because you've got no continuous heals. You've got no shield. Apart from Chamfer on himself and Ronda on herself. You've got no increased defense. You've got no block debuffs. Do you even have speed buff in this team? Speed buff on himself? So you have nothing to help you there. Like, do we have Veil? Kellen can Veil herself. Like, what about heal? Do we have any heals? These are all self-heals. Like... there's just zero support. And this is, what, S20? So we start with Coronar double Coronar Warchief Sniktrak, Bambus. Then we've got to kill double Grisor, Irongut, Gurptuk, Corrigar, Togron. And then it's double Rhoda Siphi, Necrit, Ultimate Death Knight. It's a bit... I mean, this one can be done. I can do this one, but it's a bit much. You know, Danag's going to help. See, only 8 people have done this one in the world. But I do think Killian is going to be very valuable here because we're going to have a 2-turn stun. We're going to have turn meter reduction. We're going to have block active skills. We can't block... Like, the Siphi Rotus we can't do, but hopefully we would come into the wave with Rhonda and we would literally just A2 someone with Rhonda. So we take one of them out. Or take... Like, we probably just take the Siphi out straight away and then see if we can tank the Rotus. But it's a 10,000 attack Rotus, you know? It's a lot. Honestly, wave 1 is not too much of a problem. I don't know if any of these champions are built right now. She's built okay, but not really. Like, she's fast enough not to go beyond Bambus. Like, I don't know what he's built in. He's built okay. But again, you need like 300, like wave 3, you need 420 accuracy. Like, come on. I might have to use a grow hack for some turn meter stealing. But he's all like single target, which is not great. Kellen's AoE on this nuke here, if we can get some debuffs out. You know, this could potentially kill a Rotus as well. You know, we can build these heroes out, right? It's not a problem. Like, Danang could be quite good because we got a decreased defense. We do have fears. We have decreased accuracy. We do have a pretty good passive here where he'll heal himself. So as long as he can do damage, which, you know, we probably have to put him in... Like, Crusher Men ain't going to do it. Honestly, I wonder if I just put him in Soul Reap for this, because this is where I'm going to use him just to get basically raw damage out. It's basically Soul Reap or Phantom Touch or Lightning Cage. Normally I would recommend Cage for Arena, but they're not really going to steal buffs from me, so it's probably going to be, I would suggest, Soul Reap, just to try and kill them quicker, because it's outside of wave 3 there are no revivers, so it's just a case of killing them once. So we'll go with that. We do have masteries here, so we can do this. We can farm a little bit more to get the last scrolls, right? We just need another 110 for Helm Smasher. Probably single out over this one because we'll have to hit multiple times. And then... it's whether or not I go defense. Like, if I go to support tree, I can get a better chance of placing this. It's 50% chance. Twice. I can extend it. But it is on for 2 turns. So I don't really feel like I need to extend it. So we can go defense tree because we're probably going to need to counterattack. Actually, you know what we're going to need to do? I have to build it like this. So that's Danag, Kellen. Like, these guys have all got gear mostly, so they're okay. Kellen just needs some gear. that for now. So she needs like 20% crit rate somewhere. There you go. Apparently no speed, so it's great. Is it gonna work? Crit damage, speed. Oh, well, it's better than what it was, actually. We've improved it. Well, the Grizzles are not that bad. They're only 123k HP with 8.7k defense. They're actually okay. The Grizzles will be fine. We can one-shot them. Right? This is all about picking on the target, killing them as quickly as you can. And we can put fears out with Danag. Right? So we can do that. This just doesn't have any speed. Like, I think she's just in, like... Right now she's got perfect speed, but that'll have to do. Right. Well, she's at 194 speed. Probably as good as I'm going to get it. She's not fast enough, really. She hasn't got masteries either. She is booked, though. So, like Danag, for example, we would need to build with accuracy. So he's going to have an Axii banner. And he needs 430 accuracy to land anything on Rhodas. So if I want to put, like, True Fear or Decreased Defense, I'm going to need accuracy. I could go without accuracy and just not control them. Seems very difficult, though. Like, let's see what we got. 17 plus 2. What is that? Accuracy or attack? So 17 speed. Probably go with that one, just because it's fast. This one needs to be crit damage. With attack accuracy. Oh, look at that. It's a protection piece there. Yeah, my silver is going. So I can take that piece if I wanted it. Probably a revenge piece is actually quite good. So we'll take this one. Cost me 100,000 silver, but it's fine. So I would like a counterattack. And then this needs to be attack on attack. Look, I can make one merciless piece. It's actually worth using this piece. If it rolls well, this is worth it. But it is effectively 16% attack. So the only way this is beaten is if I have something that's going to roll better than 16% as a substat. Otherwise, it's still better. It's better than that one. Why? Because it's got 10. It's going to give me 10% attack from the set bonus. It just sucks to watch an attack ring roll double defense. It really does. But it's probably better than like what I've got. This will be the best ring outside of these other ones. Like, we could technically try, like, can I actually make a merciless piece? Can I get to 6 merciless now? That's the question. Now that I've got one of those, we'd have to go on like this, right? We'd have to go with this piece. It's just the best one I've got. Like, this is not going to do it. These aren't going to do it. What can I do for Merciless here? There's no speed. That could do. It's got speed at least. Defense base, not great. That's like... This is either... It's probably this one, you know? Where is it? This one. It's not great. No speed. Didn't roll the right stats. It's no speed. No speed. Maybe this works. My limited silver pool. Ugh. It's just so... I mean, I can skip assault, but the problem is... Speed boots. I've won, and it's rolled really badly. Chest. What have we got? I don't have a single chest piece of Merciless. Crit... Shit. Gloves. So I can't. So I can't. Right? That's the thing. I can't even make a Merciless set. I can't even make a bad set. I can't even make one. Because there's just no gear. Absolutely zero gear that I've managed to keep because it's all trash. It's all terrible. None of it is any good. So then the question becomes, can we get like some bonuses maybe? I don't know. I'm just going to optimize them now, see what it pumps out. Champion to max level, optimize damage mode for the, I don't know, A2 configure, include one, boom, boom, battle. We're in Soul Cross wave, what is it? Hard mode stage. What stage are we looking at? Stage 15, is it? Or 20? Stats, speed-wise. I mean, if I wanted to take a turn first, ideally I have to go like 221. I could probably go away with like a little bit slow if you kill someone on the wave, but Toggle on the conjoin is running at 230 speed. So if I don't go at like 18? 232 minus 18, so it's going to be like 233 minus 18, 223 minus 8. Like 216 I need to be minimum. Because 216 plus 18 is going to get me to 234. And like, if I want, I can try an accuracy build. So I'll be like 430. Because I don't think I can use any accuracy aura here. They're all attack auras. There won't be any accuracy auras. I haven't actually figured out, like, we're going to use Cal and the Shriek, I guess. It's very dramatic music for this. Oops. It's a bit loud in my ear, it was. Attack. We're going to have 30% aura. Does he buff himself? I think he does, right? No, he doesn't. Annoyingly, none of the factions he's compatible with is in this rotation. Which is, you know, frustrating. Right, let's see. Display. Let's see if this is going to work. Let's see what we get. I could well be going to the cobble market, yeah. I mean, Plague Home and Dead Rise is pretty... Like, there was a few stages I had to work... I had to re-gear a few things, but it was pretty auto face roll, you know? So we're getting some pretty good builds. Who's it taking it off, though? Oh, it's recommending 1 extra Merciless piece. So it's basically figuring out that crit damage. It's not actually putting me in Ignore Defense, by the way. Even though the target's got 6k defense, it's not recommending it to me. Because what it's saying is, just bring raw stats. You're going to do more damage. Only thing is, it's taking it from the Ronda, which we can't do because the Ronda's got build. I don't really want to take it from the Akal as well. Can we not take it from the Ronda? Don't even know who's wearing all these pieces. Wants me to take Toxic Marinix as well. What's the massive difference there? Something's not calculating right. That should be like 30,000. Maybe it is. The numbers don't make sense. It's making... Something's not ranking right here. Or the damage comparison. No, I know that. What I'm trying to say is, that's saying that's going to do 39,000 damage. That's saying that's going to do 38,000 damage. This one is saying it's going to do 21,000 damage. So... I don't really see why. Unless it's calculating the Merciless Ignore Defense. What could be causing that? So it's basically, what's confusing me is why is this coming out at 39,000 damage and this one coming out at 21,000 when the stats are very similar? It should do. We've updated it. It should do. Wolfie's tested it and it was working, but it could be that it's not calculating the damage correctly. It's likely returning the best result, but it could just be that the optimizer's not giving... Like, the website's not calculating the damage correctly. It feels like... It feels like it's giving Ignore Defense by just having one piece when it shouldn't. I mean, there's a... Was it 20% damage difference? Or 30% damage difference, but... There's also 200 less attack. It shouldn't be 100% or 200% difference to have 30% more crit damage. So... I'm just gonna take some screenshots here and send it to Wolfie because I think we need to double check why this is doing this. Almost like Discord then. I'm guessing this piece here doesn't have Merciless. Okay. Boom. So I just need to send the parameters over to Wolfie. Okay. Almost leaked it. Is 9 pieces protection added to optimize it? Yeah, so what you normally have to do with that is you have to say I want protection times 3 and I want protection times 3. We felt it was better to split it up so that you could choose where you wanted the protection to be allocated, or you pre-select them. I felt like if you just did 9, it was more complicated to do that way. Does decrease accuracy on an enemy cut their total accuracy in half? Yeah, it takes the total accuracy and multiplies it by 0.5. Now it's saying there's no requirements. What? Oh, did I? Sorry. It's because I required protection. How does Laura Steel work? Laura Steel will take any percentage substat or any percentage stat you gain from a set and multiply it by 15%. So if you get 24% speed, you basically go 24 times a base of 100. So if it's 100 base speed, you'll get 24 speed. And then you 24 by 1.5, you multiply it by 1.15. So you would get 27. So Laura Steel would give you, what is that, 3.6? 2.6? 3.6. I mean, this would be fine. I just don't want to take it off Rhonda. And this just requires me to take it off everyone I've just built as well. So if I just lock Rhonda for the time being. Even on protection. Yeah, it's not about the size of the set. It's about what it is. It improves the... It increases the return of a stat from a set by a flat percentage. So whatever you get from a stat, whether you can get it on crit rate, you can get 15% more crit rate if your set gives you 10% crit rate. I don't really want to take it from your Carl. Look how bad this will be if I basically tell it to not use equipped artifacts. It's not too bad, actually. It's asking to use my new boots, which I don't want it to do. And this shield for some reason. That's not equipped on anyone right now. Don't forget to do delays and use the keys before daily reset. I think I have used everything. I haven't used these keys though, but I can easily just slam it. I just want to see if I can see how bad it is. So if the decreased accuracy resistance are multiplied, are the buffs the same? Yes. Buffs, but when you have them both working together, the penalty, like the debuff, is more powerful. Right, so for example, if I have 200 accuracy and I boost my 200 accuracy by my accuracy buff, I get 300 accuracy. The debuff will then take 300 and times that by 0.5, so actually I only have 150 accuracy. So I started with 200, I'll end up with 150. So even though I'm buffing, it will be better. Because if I just didn't buff at all, I'd be on 100. Right, so... that's the way it works. Like when you have increased defense and decreased defense improves value. It gets stronger. I'd have to take from 5 people. It's a 450k cost, a lot of this. It's going to force me to take it from your car. She should be locked anyway. I don't know why she's not locked. From your perspective, how would it go for player to affect a filter by level in gear? It depends how they've coded their base filter, Matt. If they've coded their filter so that they can add more parameters to it, not too much issue. If they've coded the filter in so that it works independently, so every single filter does its own thing, then it would be quite a challenge. Because they have to add another whole filter to it. Rubbish bell. How much silver swap is that? 100k. How much do I have? 265. Okay, let's go. Let me just blast a few spider runs. Let me just blast a few spider runs quickly. Actually, is there a stage here that gives me silver? Not a Scooby-Doo. Not. Oh, that one does, but that one requires me to have Jetney, which I'm pulling tomorrow, so I can't do that one. Not a Scooby-Doo. What about hard one? Oh, it's only 50,000. That was waste of a key. Absolute waste of a key that was. Why did I even do that? Nice one, Darky. Nice one. 325 million full auto Hydra hard. Lovely. I mean, Acrobat, that's true, but then billion-dollar company Activision Blizzard can't even make artifact gear filtering in Diablo 4. So, in essence, it wouldn't shock me. I could just forge. Yeah, you are correct. I could just forge some stuff. I don't like forging for the sake of forging, generally. I still have, like, to kill 2,000 Spiderlings quest. That's why I'm doing hard, not 20. Normally I would do 20, but because my Spider 20 team just kills the boss, we don't kill the Spiderlings. I've still got the quest to do. I thought I'd be doing more Spider during CVC, but we couldn't push points, so... Oh, look, a mythical piece. Is that attack on attack? Ooh, might be alright, actually. This is attack on attack. I try not to let my Magisteel drop below 8,000. That should be enough for what I need to do here. Danag. Ba-bum-bum-bum. Gloves, boots. I need you. And I also need Roxam. What I would do if I didn't need to do a billion masteries is I would literally go and get like 10,000 engine, just dump it into Spider 20 and just sell it all. But I need the energy at the moment for masteries, right? That's the problem. And what is challenging about this is it's all gated content. So if I don't do it within the month, then it's all gated content. So if I don't do it within the month, then it's gone. Right, I don't get another go at it. I don't think I can ascend that any further because I need the oil. Can I go get... Is there one stage with greater oil? Is there a stage with greater oil? Negative. You go away, you go away. I barely use RSL Helper. The only time I ever use RSL Help is if I'm running masteries or if I'm leveling a champion in campaign. Otherwise, I won't use it. I won't use RSL Helper. Mainly because it crashes the game. It causes lots of different problems. I just don't use it. Have I got a strategy for Dark Fae? I've done a video on it, Nathan. If you check the channel, there's a video on Dark Fae. Resilience is actually quite good. It's a great filler piece. It gets bad cred because it's not as exciting, but 10% HP and 10% defense is actually quite a lot of base HP. It just doesn't do anything exotic like Defiant and that, so it kind of loses a bit of value there. I mean, I do use it, like, it's been up today. Like, I have had it open today because I've been doing masteries. I won't waste my in-game multi-battles on masteries and campaign, so... Most of my dungeon running and everything is... I mean, you decided so quick what to sell like a machine. Yeah, because I can tell what's good and what's bad, Bronco. I've got to the habit now where, because I basically sell everything in-game manually, because I don't trust the auto sell feature in game and I don't trust RSL features to filter properly because I find it very complex in terms of a UI. I basically, when I'm doing dungeon running, I'll set like 50 on a super raid and I'll come back and I'll go through 100 very quickly because I can immediately tell whether I'm going to keep something. Oh, look at that. It's exactly how many I needed. I needed exactly that many. Oh, wait. Do I have to do rank 4 as well? Where is he? I don't know if maybe I've misunderstood. Maybe I've undercalculated. That should... Oh, no, I've only done the first tier. I need another 60. Oh, well, it's fine. He's fast enough. He'll do for a test. Let's take it for a test spin. All right, so we're going to have to run this, 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 and this. Let's see how far we get. So, we can choose to stun if we want to. I'm just going to block active skills. Ideally, Killian would be booked. And we can absolutely fear. Great. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, you know, can't even do any damage. So again, this one stage is going to cost me like 5 to 10 million silver if I want to do it properly. And this is the problem with... This is fundamentally the problem with Cintranos. It's too expensive to play the game mode. It's not that I don't want to challenge myself. I don't want to spend the silver. Because it's going to be hard. And it's not worth the effort. And that's kind of like where I'm at with it at the moment. I haven't pushed any more Soul Cross. Not because I don't want to. Because I need to get masteries on Killian the Lucky. I need to get masteries on Deliana. I need to build like 12 different champions. And then like get all the silver. And then I basically get into the stage and go, okay, can I do this? And I get absolutely annihilated. And it's not because I can't do it. I have the gear. I just don't have the resources because it's too expensive. Like, this is looking incredibly difficult unless you have Cardiel. There's a way to do it. If you don't have Cardiel, there is a way to do it, but it's very hard. Like, this is the way to do it. You do need Neldor and you need Shamael. So basically, you have to use Shamael to knock the shield down, then you get the decreased speed on, and then you just keep the freeze off of it. So I can maybe do it with double Creodon. It's better with Neldor because Neldor has that passive activator. But the only way you can, if you don't have Cardiel, I think the only way you can break the shield is with Shamael. It's just the only way. And Shamael will probably be the, I would imagine, in that team, Shamael is the damage dealer. He's the one that's killing the boss because he's got the true damage. He's effectively got Crush and Rend in his A2. You just need to figure out, like, Elva will give him the buffs he needs to one-shot. You absolutely... There's no way you can get this shield down without Shamael if you don't have Cardiel. I've tried. Like, I had, like, 5 hitters, and you just can't keep the shield down, right? So, like, for example, this is one of the ideas I was running. I was running this, and this, and I was also running... Who else was I running here? I've forgotten who I was running. Was it Royal Guard? I think I was running Royal Guard as well, right? Which one's the faster one? You're 232. You're 209, this one, right? So I was running this. Okay. So you've got 18 stacks, right? So I can attack 3 times here and 2 times at random. There's no point me actually trying to break the shield first time. There's just no point because I'll never get enough attacks in because I've got 3, 4, so that's 7, 9 on Deacon. Ruel is 3, so that's 12, and then Elva is 1, so 13. So there's no way that I can do it in one rotation, so I have to wait the first rotation. Even with Phantom Touch, you can't. Trust me. So I have to wait the first rotation, right? Because I need to let the shield... I need to let him do that first. Now, I need to cleanse. So now, this is where I would need to do it. So I need to boost. I probably need, like, some sort of immunity sets because I have to cleanse it here. 4 times. 4. 3. See what I mean? Just about. Okay, so you're thinking, okay, well, maybe you need to take out Elva. Or you need to take... Maybe we swap Deacon. We take Deacon out and we basically put in Creodon, right? Because Creodon is obviously going to be in this team eventually. He hits 3 times, okay? He's built. He's 262 speed. Drop. There's, as I said, there's no point trying to break it. You have to let the turn meter go first. Right? Because you want him to reset his turn meter. So this is fine. Right? Now is when I need to break it. So I need all of my attacks. 3. This one here, because it's 3. 1. 4. 3. 1. And now I can do either this and hope I can get some freezes. And then I need decreased speed, right? So, I mean, the big problem is my Ruel is not fast enough. So I need to get the decreased speed on there, because the only way, the absolute only way you can do this is to get decreased speed on the boss. Once you get decreased speed on the boss, then you can try and get your freezes out. But without decreased speed on the bosses, you just don't have like the window to be able to do that. You probably need someone in curing set as well to deal with the max HP loss. And the speeds I've got here are pretty quick. Like, he's 232, not bad. She's at 276. 262. 228. So that Ruel is pretty slow. I don't know which one I'm using in Shogun. Yeah, I don't have Naldo, that's the problem. And yeah, you can run Relentless, don't get me wrong, there's lots another thing. So, I mean, what I need to do is basically probably run Ruella a little bit faster. I do have 2 of them. I just can't remember which ones I'm using in which places. Let's have a look. Which one am I using here? I'm using that one. And then which one am I using in Dark Fae? One of them's got Bolster, see? I'm using that one. So I'm not using my number 1, Ruella. This one. Anyway. Because she is in Relentless, but she's too slow, right? So now we go, okay, well, we need to speed her up completely. So where do we find speed? We probably don't care about damage right now. Because the first goal is, can we even just make it work? If anything, we want it to be more tanky. So now it's like, can we find speed? So she's wearing like my fastest chest there. I'll probably speed tune this boss, by the way. This one, I may be sounding like I'm stressing. I'm not stressed about beating this. I think I can do it. What I was trying to say is I don't think you can do it without Shamael, because I think trying to keep the shields down is going to be very difficult. Like, accuracy-wise, I don't have enough accuracy here either, so I got to try and find some accuracy. Like, ideally, I need that. If I just nuke the damage out of it, because I don't really care about damage right now. Let's just take that away from Danag. Like these pieces here, that's the best piece I've got for her there. Do I have a speed that's ascended? We don't. She didn't get ascended speed. So we can go to 274, 232. Don't have any silver, so let's sell some pieces. Don't want that. She needs to be in an accuracy banner, which she's not at the moment. So we would need to put her in an accuracy banner with speed. which is probably that. But I don't have silver, so I'm going to have to sell some stuff here. What can I sell? That one's low roll. That one's got a flat stat. Alright, so we've got like 310 accuracy. I need... What do I need for this stage? So stage 24... What stage were we looking at? Stage 17. It's annoying it's not in chronological order. 305 accuracy is enough, so we can try this now. Like, the first point and first test is, do we actually have the capacity to knock the shield? Then if we do, then we know we've got the team, then we can figure out how we're going to kill it. But first point of call is, do we even have the ability to knock the shield down? So we got to... The fact we're not breaking the shield on first go, that's a bit of a problem because we take a lot of max HP loss. So we have to probably find, like... I'd probably have to put Elva in a curing set to try and restore some of this max HP. Otherwise, we're just going to die constantly. Now we can do this. Get decreased speed on. I can reapply my speed buff here. And now I need freezes. Got one. And this is going to be the problem now. I've got it. Okay. Go round 2. This is better now because now that decreased speed is on, we actually have an opportunity to knock it down. But you can see, I've used all my multi-hitters the first time round. So now by the time I'm getting back around to this, I don't have the same multi-hitters that I had. I don't have the 4 from Royal Guard. I got one there. We can get decreased speed back on. That's max HP. Got heal reduction. So I think if I take out Royal Guard for another Creedon. Oh, nice. It can work. Because we're actually keeping it down better than I was the other day. We use her for the boost. So if I have double Creedon, then we probably can keep it down. But I would absolutely have to re-gear Elva into curing so that I can restore my max HP. I would need to bring another 276 Creedon and then just War Master it down. Frostbite set won't work because the shield goes up before he attacks. So therefore the shield is up. So therefore you can't apply frost. But Frostbringer is actually quite good. Because Frostbringer is giving us multi-hits, heal reduction, and a boost for speed. But actually, we could do it. Now, the only thing is, a big chunk of this damage is Royal Guard's A3, right? But once you get decreased speed out on the target, that's the key thing. You need the decreased speed out as early as you can. Because that's how you stop the boss from just constantly recovering his speed. Let's cleanse. Heal reduction. Oh, we didn't get it. Heal reduction. Yes. You know, we're actually not that far away. I said if we just had an Elva in curing set, probably that's all maybe that's all I need to do. Just Elva in curing set. Because we're not that far away. We're just dying now because of the loss of max HP. That's what's killing us now, is the max HP loss. Maybe I just put Elva in Curing set. No, what's killing us right now is the max HP. That's what's killing us. Because I can't get... basically, I'm not getting as much from the continuous heals. What's Frostbringer doing? I'll show you. Frostbringer's giving us 3 attacks first. She's also giving us double attack with heal reduction. So that if the boss does take a turn, he's not healing. And we've also got another increased speed and an increased attack if we need it. So I can choose what I want. Yeah, Curing works on continuous heals. So I could do that. Because that actually worked really well. And I'm not using Elva for anything at the moment, so I don't have the silver right now, so I'll have to go farm a bit of silver while we're waiting, but... yeah, it's different. It works with that. I don't know how good my curing set is. Let's have a look. I always have a habit now of selecting this, irrespective of what I'm doing. She's also 5-star, by the way, guys. So she's destroying a ton of defense. Would using A2 once the shield down better? Do you know what? I feel like the extra chance. I mean, we can run the numbers now in a second, but I feel like the extra chance of the A1 is just a little bit better. Now, the nice thing here with Elva is we can just run full speed. We don't really care about anything else. Right? All the rest of this doesn't really matter. We don't really care. I could probably leave it all up. Curing required. Because what Curing is going to do is... where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here. You get 20% more healing, and the bonus heal restores destroyed HP. So basically, you restore 20% thing. So every time someone takes damage, every time someone takes a turn, they heal. So pretty much every time someone heals, they're healing by 10%. You're going to do 20% bonus on that, right? So they're going to do 12% healing. So 2% healing. It's going to restore 2% of their max HP. So... every time someone heals, they restore 2% of their max HP alongside a 15% continuous heal. So if they have a continuous heal on them, that's going to give them 3%. So the two combined should hopefully give us around about 5% of our max HP returned to us. So it's not going to return lots of it, but over the fight, you'll notice the difference now when we run it. We might as well make her a little bit tanky as well. Like 3,200, something like that. I don't have much curing gear, so... that's going to be the problem here. Like, this looks better. 268. Weird. This is going to be the weirdest build you've ever seen. What's the swap cost? 1.1 million silver. Oh, million silver. Million goddamn silver. And let's put that down to 1. Would you say attack-based nuclears have the most valuable blessings? Yes. But that's in contrast to the fact that there is only one HP based damage blessing, and there's no defense base. So you basically, it's like, are the like 4 different options or 3 different options for attack based champions better than the 1 HP and no defense? Then yes. I mean, I would argue though Crushing Rend is probably like the argument is it only applies if you're not 6-star. The moment you become 6-star, then Crushing Rend is universally amazing for every nuker. It's probably better than half of them. It's better than Soul Reap. It's better than Lightning Cage. Because you just like, not so much in arena. In arena, there's a different context, but outside of arena, Crushing Rend beats everything, pretty much. Yeah, Brimstone. You never. The thing is, there's 2 components to a blessing. This is what you got to really remember, right? There's 2 components to a blessing. There's the blessing itself, and then the stats it gives. So if I'm building a damage dealer, I'm not going to take my banner because I get defense and resistance. That's a waste. I'm not going to take temporal chains. It's defense and accuracy. I'm not going to take life harvest unless it's a very unique, like, I take life harvest on Vlad purely because he benefits from taking more turns. So the damage I'm gaining is the turn meter, but generally you wouldn't want to sacrifice it for HP resistance. You're not going to take Polymorph for defense resistance. You're not going to take Brimstone for HP accuracy. Why? Because you will lose all of these attack stats. You're basically choosing to take the effect over 750 attack, 38% crit damage, and 15, and like, I think all of them have 15 speed, so that's not really a problem. So basically you're choosing between 750 attack and 38% crit damage. You generally don't, you pick the stats for your nuker. Most of the time with an arena attack-based nuker, you're going to go Lightning Cage. Unless you're 6-star, you're going to go Lightning Cage. If you get to 6-star, you've got a few more choices because you could go Soul Reap because the threshold is a lot higher. But generally, you always go Lightning Cage. Unless it's single target. And then people like Phantom Touch. But Phantom Touch can cause its problems. In PvE, you will always go Crushing Rend, pretty much. The only exception to the rule is Newt, who you put Soul Reap on because Newt does not require Ignore Defense because he's got a max HP hit and Soul Reap will give him more damage. And sometimes you might want Ward of the Fallen, but it's more of a defensive stat. Like, I really want a 6-star Artak so I could put Ward of the Fallen on him for Ice Golem, so that it means that even if he takes a nuke, he can't die because he's got a stack of bonus armor, right? He's reducing 30% damage. But the problem is, at the moment at 5-star, you lose the bone armor stack, so it only really pays off once you get to 6. Before I go to bed, thank you for all the work you put into the optimize the stream. The community of the year has been absolute. It's been a crazy year, hasn't it? If you think about it, we have gone to Vegas. That's our first time I've been to America. We've streamed so many hours. I think I've done like 100 live streams this year. I was going to tally up all the amount of hours I've streamed live on YouTube, because it's got to be a huge number. But I know I've done over 100 live streams. You know, we've grown the channel. We added mobile optimizer this year. We've added like loads of new website features. The website has come along a lot. It's been a crazy year. I probably will do like a year in review towards the end of the month as a video. Probably will. But yeah, whenever you're choosing a blessing, you're choosing the stats first, then the effect when it comes to damage dealers. I'm looking for the blessings that give me the best stats, and then I'm choosing the best blessing effect that works with those stats, not the other way around. Yeah, we have Fateless as well. Do I want to go faster or slower? I mean, how is she built right now? She wasn't really dying at the moment, and she was at like 63,000, 3.5k defense. So, and she was a little bit slower than that. So if I go to like this one looks good. It's going to cost me 1.1 million silver though, so I need to go find some silver somewhere. Because I have 50k silver right now. 50k. It's not even enough to forge anything. With what you said, what would you Stultus? The normal advice I give people for arena nukers when they're defense-based champions is Lightning Cage. Because you still get crit damage, but the effect is the most valuable outside of being a 6-star. Some people would argue you could go Ward of the Fallen. That's also another option, but I just like the fact that a lot of the times, like for example, Stultus wants to maintain defense buff, right? That's what he really wants to do. So if you have Lightning Cage and someone tries to steal it, then the cage will just protect it. Also, Lightning Cage does give you a little bit of bonus damage because you get maximum HP. So Lightning Cage is surprisingly powerful at defeating champions like Duchess, right? Tank champions that have a lot of HP. The Lightning Cage is surprisingly good at adding a little bit of bonus damage in there. Yeah, a lot of people go Polymorph because they're willing to sacrifice the 38% crit damage. I think you can really, like for a lot of nukers, you can only do that if you're playing in the top end of Arena, if I'm being honest. Because you normally don't have the willingness to sacrifice it in the gear unless you're really rocking like high empowered champions. Because what you got to remember about defense-based damage dealers is they must have a defense buff to do damage because they don't have as much base attack as attack champions. So you're almost like forcing them into a Mithrala or Siphi combo. And if they don't have that defense-based champion, or like a Ragash Stultus self buff, if you don't have the buff on them, the defense-based champions don't do any damage. They don't hit hard enough. Because you got to remember, defense buff gives you 60%. So because you get more from the actual buff, they've compensated with the way that they scale attack. If you think the average defense base stat is about 1450, the average base attack is about 1550. So you get an extra 100 attack for a high end like Baron's 1575. The new Carnage is like 1960, for example. Yeah, Kyoku Lightning Cage is great. You want to protect the block damage buff. Yeah, Ragash's problem isn't so much his AI. The problem with Ragash is his buff is not on his powerful skill. It's the Cleopteryx problem. When you've ever used Cleopteryx, you want to use the ability that doesn't give you crit rate because it hits harder. So you're essentially having to take 2 turns to get to the turn that's going to do a lot of damage, because Ragash's big damage is his A2. So what you want is Ragash to do his A2 so that you get that big damage output. But you have to do his A1 to get his A2. So that's why Ragash almost like requires a Siphi. What you tend to find is defense-based champions are excluded to you unless you have Siphi. Because you don't have any champions that can give you, apart from like Doom Screech's brother, I think it's Doom Screech or something, that doesn't give you turn meter control with defense buff in a viable strategy. It's just too much of an investment to go that direction. That's in my experience. Yeah, if you've got an ally attack, you can make it work. Necret. But then you're having to force a lot. It's very difficult. So if I've ever built a defense-based nuke, I tend to just go Cage for the buff protection. I don't really think anything particularly improves, because the thing is, like, if you want to go polymorph, then you have to build accuracy on your nuker. Unless you've got a 6-star, you're going to have to build accuracy to make polymorph work. So it's not ideal, because now you're actually having to index stats into something that is not desirable to you. You don't want accuracy on your nuker, because you don't want to proc Resurgent to begin with, and also you don't want to place debuffs because you're going to polymorph yourself. So in essence, you don't want accuracy, right? I don't want Ragash to place debuffs when I'm using him in Arena, because he's going to sheep himself, and then I haven't got a damage option. How much is that giving me? That's giving me enough to do a few more of this. Life Harvest is actually very powerful on the right champions, right? You want Life Harvest on champions that you want to take a turn. Like Life Harvest Necret is insanely strong, because if you start getting too many revives, then he just gets so many turns that you're going to be overwhelmed and you're going to lose all your max HP. filter. All right, then. Fitting room. Equipped. First things first. Curing set. We're going to take this. None of this is rolled or glyphed. This is going to hurt to build, but we're going to do it. A Rogrim. The boots are not fast at the moment, which is quite annoying. Fanatic. That one's glyphed to some extent. This one. Like, why is it offering me that? Why can't I just take... Can I just take that one for now? It's fine. I know she doesn't need accuracy, but I'll just take that one for now. And then... Now we need to go to Swift Parry. Of all things. To take this off Mountain King. And then Untouchable to take this off you. 1.1 million silver down the drain. So we got 262 speed, 57k HP, 3.5k. Like, there's probably glyph space for healing. Like defense. You know, there's probably, but it'll do. I'd put her in defense tree as well, but that's a good test. Let's just try this now. And then if this doesn't work, we're just gonna use our keys somewhere else. 6-star Harima. So if you get to 6-star, you do have more options. Like, I do think Ward of the Fallen is quite strong at 6-star. It's giving Harima 30% base defense, base damage reduction. It's very strong. Very strong. So we're just going to take the first hit here because... well, apparently... Well, we might... 10. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3... No. Let's do it properly. Let her take the first hit. Because we can't break the shield anyway, because we have to wait for it to be bottom. So we'll take the first whack. That's fine. We won't die. Now watch the healing max HP restored here. It won't work until we get the shield down fully because we're going to keep taking some damage. 4. Decrease speed on target. Now we need heal reduction. Yes. Now we just need to heal. We'll do that because we're going to have A2 back here. Speed buff. Max HP. Replace the speed buff we lost. So here's the thing, right? So each hit has a 25% is booked. It's booked. What is it booked to when it's booked? Let's have a look. I'm trying to work out, is it better to use the A2 here, or is it better to use the A3? So A2... doesn't tell me the books. That's really annoying. Creedon. So Creedon books to a 35% chance on the A1. And he is a 65 on the A2. So we've got 1 minus. So what's the chances first of us getting 1 freeze? So I've got a 65% chance for each hit. So therefore I've got a 35% chance it doesn't land. So the A2 has an 87% chance I'm going to get at least 1 freeze. On the A1, I'm going to get 35 3 times. So that's 65. So 87.75 is the A2 for at least 1 freeze. At least 1. I get 72% chance of at least 1. So probably this is better. Now the question is, I could boost. here, but it's not really boosting me to anything. I'm never going to boost. Let's get heal reduction back on. And then we A1 again. We did get 2. I'm just going to do this just to get the decreased speed. We've got 3 turns now. So, all we got to do now is get the shield back down and survive. 4 hits. We're going to do that because we need to do this. 1, 2, 3. We actually had 4 there because we got Phantom Touch. 5 hits. Double hit. We didn't get a single one that time. Boost. We do get a max HP. We'll do this because we're going to take a turn anyway. He gets continuous heal on him, which will help hopefully keep him alive. Oh. Look how much the max HP is different, by the way. No, look how much my max HP has stayed here because I've got the curing set on. It's really, really good. I need the attack here right now. I don't need the speed buff. She needs to do this. Didn't get the speed buff, but we did get a boost. So that's good. Heal reduction. Boost. We're doing it. Boost. Don't let me down. Oh, we got double. Nice. Max HP. We're doing it. Freeze. Come on, Creodon. You resisted, but you got 1. Oh my god, it's so close. Boost. We need speed buff. Frostbringer is doing so much here as well. Don't ignore Frostbringer's value by putting heal reduction. She's doing a hell of a lot. I was wrong. I'm happy. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I get in my head a little bit. And I'm happy to be proven wrong when that happens. Because it's natural. Like, I've done this. It's done. It's done. It's done. Yeah! Woohoo! But 2 major things here that was really, really valuable. Firstly, curing set was massive. Why? Because we were actually able to... There's 2 things that the curing set was doing. Wow, you get 1,000 coins. It's basically an Eternal Soul Stone. That's massive. That 1,000 stones is better than all of this gear. It's huge. Do you know how long it takes to farm that many coins? That's like 6 months worth of farming. Just there. That's the thing. The Cintranos rewards in general are very good. I know I've been critical about the 5-star gear. That's more of a principle in the game because I have the same problem in dungeons, right? If I'm farming hard 10 Fire Knight, the last thing I want to do is walk away with a 5-star piece. So, just to know what's happening here, and I've got to do it very quickly because we've only got 8 minutes to do another key. What's happening here is Elva in Curing Set is giving us 2 benefits. Firstly, she's stopping us dying from having no max HP, but she's also improving her passive healing, which is based off the champion's max HP, and the continuous healing, which is based off the champion's max HP. So just putting her in Curing Set made that so much safer. And we've got like 260 speeds. I'll show probably the run in the optimizer if it's in there. Frostbringer then is bringing Cruelty to knock it down by 15% and heal reduction. So it means I don't have to keep trying to catch him on the healing. It's okay. Resistance Merciless. Oh, that's speed at least. Not great. Right, let's just do a key quickly. We've now unlocked S18. But the problem is I'm gate-kept from these dungeons here. I've got to do either S20 or S18. And then I can't do S18 because I don't think I can do S19. Or I've got to do S14, which is this. So if I want to get these last 2 bosses, which I can do these easily. I'm not worried about these bosses. I got to get through these stages, so that's gonna have to be my focus. What do I want most in the world? What do I want most in the world? This. What's this? Don't know if you've got gear anymore, but this looks easy enough. I've got like 4 minutes to do this. Blast it time. Could Wither replace Elva? Yes. Because what you really want, I don't know if it's going to work. If you can speed tune it so she goes almost instantly after the boss puts the decreased speed and cleanses that decreased speed off almost instantly, then yes. What Elva is doing is she is stopping... what Elva's doing is she's stopping the decreased speed. Because that's what you need to not lose. You can't afford to lose any speed. How much do we get? 30. Lovely. All right, cool. So we're almost finished with Cobble. Dead Rise, we've only got like 5 stages left. Got these stages to do. So yeah, the team that I'm using here, she's basically blocking the decreased speed to begin with, and the decreased defense needs to go. So if you can time it so that almost immediately after the boss goes, you can cleanse. So the boss has very little turn meter. Otherwise, you're punishing yourself too much and you got to get background. The key to beating this boss, and I kind of knew it before I started, was taking the first hit, getting him back so his turn meter's down really low, and getting decreased speed on him as quickly as you can. Once you get decreased speed on him, because he's not as fast as the Fire Knight Hard 10, he's only 200 speed, decreased speed will bring him right down. Then with your extra speed, right, if you think I've got 2 speed buffs here, I technically have a third, I just never used Creedon's one, but I've got 2 speed buffs here in both Frostbringer and Elva. I'm boosting my speed up, which are 260, so I'm able to create a big differential so I can get a couple of extra turns on Creedon to get those freezes down. I can get an extra couple of turns on Ruella, so I'm allowed to use this, because I can't use this if the shield's up. If the shield is up, I have to use this one, because I have to bring the shield down, because if he attacks me when the shield is up, again, I will die. So this is only possible to be used when the shield is down. So that's what those speed buffs are giving us. And as I said, Frostbringer's A1 is giving us heal reduction, so we don't have to take more turns to get there. And then we have a triple hitter as well. Does give us decreased defense if we want. But the other nice thing is her base speed is incredibly high. And she's also got increased speed on and increased attack. She's actually really good for this. Neldor would be better than maybe better than than Ruella. I think Neldor does because you can always use Royal Guard for decreased speed, right? You can't drop the turn meter, but he can apply decreased speed. So you can use Royal Guard and drop like the Ruella to bring to bring Neldor, right? Because you do have decreased defense here as well. So Elva can cover your decreased defense, increased attack. Royal Guard can cover the decreased speed. So you just need to, you can drop Ruella. It's very difficult though, because Ruella just is so good. The nice thing about Ruella is this is a triple hit, and each individual hit applies all 3 debuffs. So if you've got 3 stacks left on the shield, you can use this and get the decreased speed up, where you can't do that with necessarily Royal Guard per se, if you get unlucky, because it's not going to be every single roll. It's not going to guarantee. Yeah, Royal Guard has decreased defense on the A1 as well. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I forget about this. Only one in the clan. Where does that... I don't even think... It doesn't put me on the leaderboard because I wasn't quick enough. Like, you can see the Royal Guard working with Elva here. They've used Shamael to bring the shield down. Because what he's using is... This run here is delaying Elva's A2 so that everyone takes debuffs so that Royal Guard can attack. Royal Guard... sorry, not Royal Guard. Shamael's going to be able to attack to take the first, like, 5 or 6 stacks away. Then with his multi-hitters, he's able to get the shield down very quickly, get decreased speed on, then he's using Elva to cleanse, and then he's just powering through it with double freeze, because Neldor's passive is incredibly powerful. Right? Neldor's passive here is incredibly powerful when he's paired with another freeze champion, because whenever an ally is placing a freeze, he has a 30% chance to attack, and that will roll per freeze. Right? So if you're going to use that with... if you're going to use that with this... Where is it? If you're going to use that with Creedon, well, if he places 2 freezes, you've got 2 times 30%. If he places 3 freezes, you've got 3 times 30%. And then when he counterattacks, Neldor... Wow, game's lagging. When Neldor counterattacks, he himself 3 times each hit has a 40% chance of freezing. So it's probably better to run Neldor. I actually think Neldor might be even better than Gory for Fire Knight hard, because of this interaction. You also get a decreased speed as well, and you get this like weird 4-hitter where it's like the first and the second hit does something, the second and the third hit, I don't really understand why they've done that, but you get like a 4-turn cooldown decreased speed. You get this A1 freeze. I think he's exceptionally good. He's on my wish list. Yeah, they're only showing... Has it reached top 30 here? Yeah, it's only showing top 30. I did look in the optimizer the other day, and there was 2 teams. Both of them Shamael. Yeah, I gotta run Dark Fae. I need silver, though, because I got no silver at all. Ooh, a Void Shard. That's handy for tomorrow. I don't even think I got enough silver to summon everything for tomorrow. Pythian. Shamancer. I always like coming into the shop and looking at everything I can't afford. So, you know. Oh, we got 8 more keys. No, we might as well do some more. How many more stages have I got left up here? Not many. There's not many stages left. What's this? Oh, well. No, I meant it's ideal for tomorrow, as in it's ideal for Champion Chase. I don't even know if I'm going to pull any voids, because I'll see what the points are. I'll be pulling all my champions. But, I don't know if I'm going to be pulling... I'll probably pull for the Jorgid, because it's times 10. I always pull good times 10s. You got your 6-star Seer. Nice. It's a big break point, 6-star Seer. Yeah, he's like a really bad Void Legendary. I don't even think he's Void. That's how bad he is. I don't think he's a Void Legendary. Really? Really? Can we stop? Oh, my lord above. Fine. Strip the buffs. How much more do I need to do? Jeez. 175 energy. I tend to do like leave 2 or 3 keys left now. What I tend to do every day is I come in and I basically do like 3 keys remaining, and then I'll try some of the hard modes on 3, and then I'll just finish them if I can't. Oh, this wave doesn't really have any damage dealers. Like Masamoto, but I don't think I've got him any gear. Are you wearing anything? Ah, you got some gear, we'll bring you. Just, I don't have to throw random people. He's a good Void Epic. I mean, the main problem with him, if you actually look at his A3, the Ringer, his A3 is quite good. But it's in the context of you don't want freeze. If that makes sense. Like, his A3 is actually incredibly powerful because it's like 100%, like, it's like a 50% turn meter steal or something. The problem is you just don't want freeze, because freeze is bad in Arena. Why would I want to, like, nuke 25% of my damage to just ignore a bit of defense? That seems very counterintuitive. I'd rather just not lose 25% damage. Ailil, I tried him, but I haven't finished gearing him out. The biggest problem with my account is I've got so many champions I do have to gear and put masteries on that I've built for champion training events that I haven't had time to do masteries because, well, when does anyone ever have time to do masteries? Okay. Kill that. The cat woke up. I made Masamoto a 6-star because I might have to use him for stage 19. I'm determined to do all the bosses in rotation 1. But I've got to get through those 2 stages. So like the next 2 weeks is going to be me dedicated to try and test it. The good news is I've got however long, was it 3 weeks left of Cursed City rotation? So that's the good thing about it. Is like, you know, when's it reset? But 2 weeks, 6 days for me to try and get one of these 2 down. Because S21, not a problem. I can do S21. I've got Constantine, Arbiter, like all of these. This is not a problem. I've got enough powerful supports that I can do this. I'm not stressed about this at all. This one, what is it? Finite Hard, 200. How fast is that Finite Hard? It's stage 15. So he's 175 speed. He's probably going to be 15 stacks. She's 175 speed. So the only thing we need here is HP burn. So Drex, right? We have kind of a similar problem here where I don't think we have ally attackers. So that's a bit of a problem. Do we have a reflect buff? No. Do we have a passive? Okay, so do we have activate poison? No. So this one is kind of like, where do we get the multi-hits from? Geomancer's passive counts as hits. Okay, so that we could do. There's not a lot of multi-hitters here, I'm not gonna lie. Does the burn count as a hit? We probably would run Sakia. This is a triple hitter. It's more. It's the good news is the attack of the boss is really, really low. The boss has got 4,000 attack. He ain't gonna do any damage to you. So I can just build all these incredibly tanky and just absolutely out survive him. If we have a healer. Do we have a healer in this team? No. Okay. Do we have continuous heals? She might have to come in. Just for this. Does Achak heal? We might have to bring Achak. But it's only 4 people, right? So yeah. We're probably just gonna have to run a couple of relentless champs. Like Fenshi seems like he's probably a very big shout, right? Because we get a double one hit 3 times, 1 hit 3 times. So Fenshi's probably gonna have to come in. For sure. I could bring my 303 or 290 speed Alika Nuka. Like the boss is only going at 175 speed, right? So that's the good news. The boss is incredibly slow compared to what we're normally used to dealing with when it comes to hard Fire Knight. Normally hard Fire Knight's like 250 speed. So as long as we can get enough hits to get decreased speed out, which Kantra is very good at getting debuffs out, right? We have a lot of debuffs that can do decreased speed here. That's always the main thing you want. I need a champion that's can do decreased speed. Well, we've got 2. So that's fine. Is there a leech? Ooh, Sachi could be quite good. She doesn't hit multiple times, but she does have a leech ability. She does have a revive if she kills someone as well. The other thing we got to make sure is we kill Sorath. But again, I think that's okay. It should be fine. Like, it's just a case of finding the right balance in stats and hitting it enough times. And then this double boss is Dark Fae and Fire Dragon, you know, like a hard mode dragon. So that went straight away. because when I take poisons, I'll just send it back to them. Thanks very much. What's the speeds like of this one? 22. Again, 175 speed. So really all we need to do is figure out how we're going to kill the clones. So we could absolutely do a Seeker boost into something like a Crypt King Graal. We could do a Judge. Shemnath would also be very good because she'll throw all the debuffs back to the enemy. Because what we don't have in this setup here is we don't have a cleanse, right? So you can't get rid of those initial poisons. Cleanse, where is it? Cleanse. Remove debuffs. There's no cleanse. So what you want to do is pick champions that you know you can just throw back. So what we can do is use Gwyneth to transfer all the debuffs back to the target enemy. We can use Shemnath to transfer all the debuffs back to the target enemy. And if you basically do this and then do that afterwards, you can probably get to a position where you've got 10 debuffs and this will do a true damage and it's probably going to one-shot the boss. Like, this ability, if you scale her with damage, can do about like 700,000 damage. I've seen it happen. It's very, very powerful. If you can get to a true damage state, right? Ignores 10% of the target's defense for each debuff they're under. Well, he's going to put out 3 poisons, isn't he? He puts out 4. So if we come in here and we go, okay, we're going to send 4 back to him. So that puts him on 4 debuffs. We just then figure out how we put like a couple more debuffs. Like we could bring Dark Kael in. He's in Stone Skin. So when he pumps it out to me at Reflect, we can just put some more poisons on. If you can get to 10 poisons, I'm pretty sure Gwyneth just one-shots that dragon. Like, it's very strong how hard this hits. Like, this is Gwyneth right now. She's at 209 speed. Let me see if I can simulate it. Yeah, I don't really care about that right now. Go away. Go away. No. Let me find something in Doom Tower that is of similar challenge. Trying to find something with similar defense number so that it's a fair representation. That isn't incredibly fast as well, because I don't want to have to try and... Oh, there we go. Stage 7. Stage 7. Okay, there's a lure on this stage, right? So what we're going to do... They're running at 149 speed, so it should be fine. So we're going to bring Gwyneth. Okay. Put her in the speed position so we get extra speed. So we need poisons. Who gives us a lot of poisons? So you give us some, and you're fast. We can bring you. You're slow, though, aren't you? You're super slow, so you're not going to work. You're like... you're okay, but you're still too slow. How fast are you now that I've taken gear off? You're a bit slow as well. Yeah, I'm trying not to pick anyone that's got, like, super duper damage. That actually has speed, because they're all a bit slow. Like, this new guy can probably do it, because he's 209 speeds. Are you faster than this? No, you're the same speed. Oh, you were built pretty fast, weren't you? Oh, we'll use you. You can drop some poisons. How many have I got here? 2 plus sensitivity, so that's 3. He might do a couple more. I would normally use Dark Kael or Laburga, but they're built really slow for my Fire Knight hard teams, my Dragon hard teams, so they don't work. Oh, Taurus is fast. I think Taurus is fast enough. There we go, use Taurus. That's 4, so 4 plus 7. And assuming we would add decreased defense and weaken. Decreased defense. Right, assuming we would add that as well, because the boss applies weaken, so we would deflect that back. Can we do it with someone who isn't going to one-shot the boss? That would be wonderful. Is there anyone here that isn't like Nuka? No. Everyone is built to nuke. Do you nuke? You might be right. Bit slow though. Does he do weaken? Maybe we can do this. Do you still gear? Yes. Okay, let's try this. Just use your Calvalax. Yeah, those Calvalaxes I don't have. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. So the one we want to look at is Lure at the back. So I'm going to activate to get weaken. Great, we've got one. Good job, Nethril. You useless. Nethril is on another level right now. He's got like a pretty good chance. Alright, well, we'll try one there. Then we're going to do Poison Torrent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just like pump you for damage. Oh man. I always hate setting these things up. Okay. We're just going to do this drop 2 meter. Taurus, stop weak hitting. Mind you, we have no increased attack here. Right, so there should be plenty of debuffs right at the back there. Right, if we look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So she's going to deal true damage. Okay, she's going to deal true damage to Lure. She doesn't have increased attack. She doesn't have increased attack. She doesn't have anything scaled on her. 174,000 would be that, and that's against the same target defense of the dragon without any cruelty. So if you add 100, if you add attack buff, right, 174,000 times 1.5, because that's roughly what it's going to be. So that'll be somewhere in the region of 261,000. Now here's what you would also do. Where is she? I've lost my Gwyneth. Gwyneth. I should use the search bar. Oh, I found her now. Here's what you would also do. You'd put her in a better damaging set. Right? You wouldn't want necessarily Savage Cruel because you're ignoring 100% of the target's defense. But you would put her in more damage than what I've got her in right now. Right? 'Cause she's just in stun sets. Put her in crit damage sets. Put her in a Zeal set. Put her in, like, another crazy set. So then you would add another 30,000. So you can easily hit 400,000 against that target. The boss has only got 1 million health. Right? So imagine you just do that a couple of times. She's probably just going to one-shot the boss on her own. I've seen her in Clan Boss do like 700,000 hits in Clan Boss. Absolute mental case he is. So, but, you know, the problem is, to get to these stages, I think I can even do S24. I'm pretty sure I can do S24. Like, S24 is... Warlords at 200 speed, right? So, well, I can just literally go... You. Probably you. Probably... So wait, I need 8 stars between 3 champions. So we could bring a Vizix in if I wanted to. It's a 4-star. I could bring my Frostbringer in for increased attack. I probably need Lydia. And then it's a case of Raglan and then 2 stars. So either I go 4-2 or 3-3. So I could do this. Probably better to do Raglan for a heal revive. And then I can just bring a 2-star. It could be a Michinaki. Or as soon as we got Seer, I can just bring a tank support. Right, I can just bring White Dryad Nia. So we reset the Seer. I'm fairly confident I can do this. Right, because wave 1 is Alsgore, Warlord, Thea, Alton, Jetney. Yeah, I don't even need to A3 the first wave if I don't want to. I could just A1 kill it. Like, this Seeker will pump damage at 6-star. He's 5k defense. He's 5k attack, 338% crit damage. He'll pump some damage on A1. We'll provoke if we need to. So we would just kill the Warlord quickly, then kill the Alsgore if we needed to. And if we weren't surviving, then we would probably just drop out her and bring in... oh, sorry. We've already got that. If we weren't surviving, we've got the revive there. But if we still weren't surviving, we could decide to drop that out and bring Oella in for some passive healing. If we're still not surviving, we can bring something like Riho and then just drop the Nia and bring back the Raglan. Because we've got Riho's heal and individual decreased defense damage. And her actual damage output's pretty crazy on her own. So I'm pretty confident I could do S24. The double bosses, S21. I'm pretty confident. 18, I'm pretty confident I can do this, right? I could just do that. That. I mean, I don't even know if any of these are still built anymore. Not so much Fushan right now because I'd have to rebuild him. But we could do that. This. Like this for the aura probably. And then... I could just run another double... I could just run another Bistolphus if I wanted to. I could run a Durandil for some freeze. He's not crazy good, but we could absolutely do it. Or some just straight damage. He's also very good at that. I could run Razin for a speed turn reset. We could run one of these for some damage output. They haven't got any gear anymore. But both of them were very good when I was testing them in Dead Wars tournament. I could run a Zarvia. I have no idea what's in the wave, though. What's that? An Aileel, Elva, Aileel, Clydna, Emic. All right, well. I don't know what you do, so I'm going to provoke you. What do you place? So that. Obviously, I haven't got anyone built here. That's why this is not working. But you see what I mean? Like, I should be able to do this stage. If I just had people built with speed, it's not a problem. The issue is, and here's the thing, right? Here's the issue. There's actually no value in me doing that. If I can't do this, and I can't do that... There's no value in me doing that. What, for live arena refresh tokens? As long as I can get to the 12 awakened stages, as long as I can get to this stage, I've got all the candles I can get. There's no difference in me doing 101, like 98 floors or 99 floors or 70 floors versus anything else, because essentially, unless I can do every single floor. It's just not going to happen, is it? This one I haven't done yet. I'm waiting for Jetney. I'll pull Jetney tomorrow. This one I just haven't done because I didn't need to, but I probably just need to re-gear some of these champions around it. And this one here, probably just need to re-gear the Boltsmith and just one-shot everything as I go through it. This one, I mean, it's probably going to get hard carried by Ragash, right? But he needs to be a lot faster than that. And Masamoto, like this one, I'm probably going to have to run something like this, this, and then this, all right? Because Loriark is going to give us turn meter, at least. And some decreased resistance, and lots of turn meter, stealing buffs, everything to get us back around. I don't know what's on S12. What do we got? Baron, Raglin, Baron, Cethalia, Sigmund, Ramantu, Razin, Nekmo, Harima, Jingwong, Ninja, Kimi. So this one is all about Ragash. This is all about getting Ragash back to his A2 and just perma-stunning them. So I'd have to rebuild Ragash, but I'm pretty sure this would work. If I needed to, I could basically make a Kinagashi so I could get an ally attacker. Ally attack to get his defense buff, stun. Slowly whittle him down, back, stun. Use Masamoto for his boost as well, so he gets defense buff if I need to. And then Kyoku here just to basically carry us in terms of like protection. So that one should be fine. What is this stage? Ragash, Rabbit, Ragash, Timisia, double Iggy, Biggin. Oh, the last wave of this is nasty because of the bad L's. Tell you who's going to be Giga Clutch for this one. Why, might you ask? Well, how do we kill Bad Alcazars and Marshal Eds? Well, we put heal reduction on them. The actual main objective to this, the only way you're going to succeed with this one, is to target kill people. So on wave 1, you absolutely have to target kill the Smash Lord. Just because he's just going to keep cleansing. Wave 2, target kill the Gurgo, otherwise you're never going to get a turn. And then wave 3, you have to like one-shot the Mushaled. Just take out the fear. Because once the fear is gone, you just need to tank it. So probably something like him for like the main damage source. Probably Venomage to help you stay alive with Ugo. And then this maybe. We could always go for a Castigator if we need to like equalize HP. But I'm guessing that or Sanguinia. Orost hit hard there. Have you done it, Boho? I mean, he is 123 HP. Oh, do you know why? You know why he hits hard, Boho? He's benefiting from the ally crit rate aura. So the bad Alcazar is giving them 40% crit rate. That's why they're hitting harder, because you're getting crit. Yeah, it's because you're getting crit by them. Because they're getting an innate 25% better. I mean, it's been beaten by quite a lot of teams, right? So it's not a problem. I mean, there's the Siege Hulk way. Constant was in chat earlier. I bet that's what he did. Just pure... He probably ran pure nuke and just constantly nuked them out. I've got multiple Siege Hulks that could do it. So what he's doing, I think, is he's basically running double Ugo at the wave 2 so that when the bad L cleanses, he reapplies the block buffs. Has Nubs done it? Drock's done it. He's used Talia. Aethel. Adri. It's definitely doable, you know? Siege Hulks are... I think Siege Hulk is the damage, because he does hit really hard. Your goal is basically keep your Siege Hulk alive and let him wreck them, because he'll buff himself, he'll kill them, he'll do loads of damage. He's good enough. He could probably one-shot... Like, what defensive numbers are we looking at? There's a fair probability he'll one-shot the Razelvarg and the Tumacia on wave 1. He might even one-shot every... Like, he might get the Ragash down to, like, 10k HP. Depends on how strong they are. But yeah, this will be fine. I mean, you can also use her for like bombs, but I think she needs Phenax, and we don't have Phenax in this rotation. What does she bring? It's just healing. Yeah, I was just brought for a heal. If you need it. So yeah, so 13 will be fine. So yeah, it's basically, I think I'm going to get blocked by this one, because this looks horrible. This looks horrible. Because even if you can control them, it's going to be very difficult. And you can tell it's horrible because there's not many people that have done it. And I can check the optimizer right now, right? We can jump into the optimizer and we can go into team optimizer and go, okay, has anyone beaten like stage 14 with my heroes? Let's have a look. Soul Cross Hard, stage 14. Find a team. No. No one's optimized for that. What about stage 20? Yes. So someone has managed to do stage 20 using Chamfer. Chamfer, Killian, Rhonda, Lockwine, and Artak. What kind of stats do we have in this team? Honestly, not that crazy. Oh, it's a 6-star Cillian. Like, it's not that crazy. Half of them don't even have masteries. He's used 270 speed, refresh, stun set, Artak. With a 6-star Killian, who's not exactly in crazy damage. Like, his attack's really low. Has he got a really low base attack? No, he hasn't. I don't know why the attack's so low there. A lethal Lockwine. And then a lethal Rhonda. There's also another team using Cormac. 320 speed. That one's a little bit more endgame. 320 speed, Danak Skull Reap in Sunset. So yeah, Sunset's the key. So I'll be blocked by one of those two. And then once I get through here, I can probably finish all off these in one day. But this one, unless I can do both 19 and 14, there's no value in me even doing 18. I don't even need to stress about it because I don't really care about live arena tokens, if I'm being honest. So I think I probably comfortably can get to like 96, maybe 97 out of 101. If I can get through 20. Oh, sorry, yeah, screen. See, I was saying, if I can't do S19 and I can't do S14, which is really frustrating because that's 40 of the remnants, then there's no value in doing S18. Because it's only live tokens. As long as I can get through S20, that unlocks me to do everything else that I want to do up here, which is the bosses, because I want the gear and I want the mythical charms. I don't want to miss out on the gear and the mythical charms. Like, unless you could do all 101, these two don't matter. So I think I'll get to like 97. I think I'll get to like 97 out of 101 comfortably. Because there's no real... I'm just waiting on champions and gearing for these other stages. Like you can see, I've finished Plague Home. Cobble Market is pretty much ready to go. Dead Rise is ready to be completed. Like, I've got 5 keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can basically complete everything other than Soul Cross today if I want to. But I'll probably keep... Like, I normally keep 2 keys per day just to try some hard modes. Like, this one is just... challenging, really. Yeah, I'll have to... I think 20's, like, the most viable path through. There's no other viable path. Shiramania is what I'm worried about, is can it even be done without Shiramani? I did think that some of the stages would be like, how do you do it without Cardiel? But I think because they didn't scale their attack as much, you were able to do it without the Cardiel. Like, imagine if Iron Twins... imagine if the Sand Devil was like Sand Devil 25. There's no way you can tank that nuke and actually make a viable team. Let's just grab whatever this is. She ain't going to be able to solo that. Is Abeth worst build? Abeth is a pretty good nuker. I mean, if you've got a 5-star nuker, that might just be your best nuker on your account because of the raw damage that she can deal. Keep in mind, the stats are very valuable. If you're giving someone 38% crit, or was it like 25% crit damage, that's a lot of stats. So even if her damage in an index is actually lower than, say, a typical nuker, it might be the best one available to you because... I need to kill you. It might be the best one available to you because you've got the raw stats. Boom. Okay, we'll leave the 3 keys. So yeah, I've basically got 1, 2, 3. Hey, check me, I'm on the global rankings. Wonder how high. I wonder if I'm actually going to end up on the global rankings by the end of it. I can't imagine I will, because I think there'll be enough Krakens that can do more than the floors that I can do. I'm still world third. Still world third. Still world third. Yes, I do. I feel like everyone who told me to stop wailing on everything, I feel vindicated because my wailing has resulted in this outcome. That I randomly have 5-star champions for things that most people wouldn't even think is very valuable. The fact that I do have a 5-star Frostbringer, most people would have been like, Frostbringer's terrible. We never use it for anything. Just sell the soul. Not worth anything. Which is not a bad advice. Just in this context, is bad advice. Because now you're having to use champions. Like, nobody in their right mind would have gone, do you know what? I need that Morag because I'm going to have to build some. I'm going to have to beat some terraces. Nobody in their right mind would have thought about that until Centranos. Now it's like, actually, that Morag is kind of that's kind of strong. Like, it's got to the case now. This is how dumb it is. When I was talking to YST and we were looking at different strategies, I literally have a 6-star Bloodbraid, right? And do you know the only reason why I'm keeping the 6-star Bloodbraid? Because she's got heal reduction. And she heals. Guess which boss requires Awakening and needs you to have heal reduction and also accepts Barbarians right now? I think it accepts Barbarians. Does it accept Barbarians? Maybe it doesn't. Yeah. Guess which boss right now accepts Barbarians? So even though Bloodbraid as a champion would never, ever, ever get used, you'd never use it anywhere in the world, the fact that she has a chance to grant an extra turn and 100% heal reduction on a 3-turn cooldown, and I've got a 6-star soul for her, means that she's actually pretty valuable. Because I can actually just keep her alive. I'll be pulling Creedon tomorrow. All of these are going to be pulled tomorrow. These 3 at the top. I'm not going to summon this. I really want the 2 remnants though, because I hate missing out. I'm such a collector. I hate missing out on things. And to miss like 40 out of the 200 available, that's so frustrating. It's annoying as hell, you know? Rolled speed at least. Daily challenges, do something. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I am tired. At some point, I have to do Hydra before next week, so that I'm not having to stress about it like the day after Christmas Day. I don't really want to do that. So the team is pushing hard this week. Fox has already knocked out 1.8 million. Kavala 1.6 million. Carnifex bashing out big keys as well. 126 million Nightmare. That's awesome. Awesome to see. But why is it saying 2 times Sacred? That's a very good question. Let me check why it's saying times 2 Sacred, because it shouldn't. We should be saying times 2 Void. Now, to be fair, they keep changing it all the time. But we shouldn't be making those mistakes. I'm going to go shout at someone. Don't worry. I'll fix it now. Thanks for letting me know. Right, guys. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. It's been a great year. I will do a video recap probably of the year, how it's been, all the different things that's happened. And I kind of want to do a year in Raid as well, in terms of like, what has Raid achieved in 2023, and what's been a win, what's been a loss. Because I think actually, to be fair to Plarium, they have delivered a lot of content updates this year, surprisingly. I'm not sure many of them have been successful, but they have delivered like Live Arena, they've delivered Sand Devil, they've delivered Centranos, they've delivered Artifact Ascension, they've delivered loads of different things. So it'll be a good idea to like review all the patch notes, review everything, and see how they've done, basically. But I'm going to do a year in review as well as for us, as a community, as my channel as well. So if you're celebrating Christmas, have a nice Christmas, everyone. If you're up, I could end up coming back like the day before New Year's as well. So just because I said I'm not going to stream until like the 1st of January or something, I might end up being back a few days earlier, see how I feel. I just need a bit of a break, and I don't want to schedule streams and then not turn up. So that's the plan. So yeah, if I don't see you before the New Year, have a nice New Year, have a nice Christmas, be merry and all that kind of nonsense. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you soon.